Just because the last 2 streams I have had audio issues, so I'm just gonna.
Right. Oh, like with it not recording?
And yeah, like there's been no audio on the recording.
Is
Can
it
someone
this
easily
full?
just jump on to the YouTube stream and?
Mm-hmm. Actually, I'm not connected to the internet. My mom took away my internet. Comcast has been routinely doing it to me. It's pissing me off. My internet was out like 3 times last week randomly, but it's out all the time anyways. And I'm like, don't do this, Comcast. It'll make me come into the office. And their answers always tick me off because I call them. Because the service in our area is terrible. Always has been. And they're like, yeah, well, there were a lot of trees when we put the lines in. I'm like, you know we run cables under the ocean, right? I'm like, the trees are not going to affect my internet, you idiot. Like, this is obviously on your end because you're not coming out here and digging cables up and replacing them. It just fixes itself after like 6 hours.
I feel like it's only wireless once it hits your router. Everything else is completely wired too.
Mm-hmm. It is wired. That's why it's annoying. Because it still works fine. If they're not doing any work on the actual wires, then it's on their end. That's what ticks me off.
Right.
But they do throttle everything.
Last time
I was trying to get there.
Last time our internet went down, like, there was a huge outage, and so I was like googling, like, oh, do they know it's down? And Utopia was like, or Exhibition was like, we're experiencing an outage in this location. Reason: squirrel chewed through line. I'm like, oh, freaking squirrels.
I wish I had like fiber so bad.
It is.
And our speeds are good when it's working, but and then just take a Comcast.
Fiber's like been approved to come to Farmington,
Mm-hmm.
which probably means like it's 3 years away.
Yeah, that's a problem.
But
like I'm like, I'm just gonna move to like Korea just because it's so small. The internet speed's always amazing.
yeah,
You can play fighting games with no delay. But then you also have to smell everything there, so. Korea is like notorious for smelling horrible.
Really?
Because, well, A, all the garbage and waste goes into these little things on the side of the roads, they're not covered. And B, they eat a lot of fermented food. Like, I love kimchi to death, but like Korean kimchi, you know that smell like instantly. Like, they keep separate fridges in out of their house areas to keep their kimchi because it smells so bad. I'm like, maybe don't eat it then.
yeah.
But it does taste good, I gotta be honest. But it's just like, I would die.
All right, I think I'm ready to go. You guys ready to go?
I'm ready.
Anyone wants to do?
Are we level 9?
Yep.
I don't know if you guys saw like my message in the Discord, but like I leveled up like to level 9, and so I was going through the spells because I can do 5th level spells now, and oh my goodness.
I was gonna bring my old iPad so I could put this app on there so that way you could print your character sheet, Sutosh, and just have all this stuff. Because it will auto do it for you, so we don't forget that you have like wild shape like we did and all that other stuff. It's like, man, did druids get nerfed last patch? And we.
What
All
spells
right.
did you?
Who wants to give us a recap?
Well, Boogly would be the best shooter.
No.
That's what I thought.
So yeah, I dumped Sarah. She took it pretty well,
I think so.
Yeah.
to put it delicately.
I think she will become a trans man who loves bags.
No, she took it. Her reaction to my breaking up with her was subpar, and I just kind of bailed because she was kind of losing it. And come to
Right
find
thing
out,
to do.
come to find out from her dad, who woke me up in a drunken stupor from the bar,
Oh, what an asshole.
she basically kind of started going insane. She started wearing the dress I bought her. I don't even remember buying her a dress, but she started wearing the dress I bought
When you
her
took her out
around
again?
the farm. And she would just
You don't
spend a
even
lot.
remember that special date anymore.
It was a blur. But
I don't even remember her name.
And she was just like, she clearly lost her mind. Then I guess she disappeared.
That's pretty much how they all handle it.
You bought her a dress, is she just not supposed to wear it?
Yeah, what's she gonna do?
That's a good point. She was like, hey, he was good to me. The least I can do was wear this dress.
Yeah, the horse was like, I don't know what
Anyway,
that's going on, dude. But
Anyway, she disappeared. We go look around in the
my dog
barn. I went and through using a beast form of wolf. I tracked her scent, and then the scent led me to that bag of holding we gave her. And through searching, it became pretty apparent that she went inside the bag of holding. But we go in there, she's gone, and we're thinking that she probably got transported to another plane or something, to the astral realm.
Could be
You'd have to explain that part of it again. But long story short, we now have to go to the capital city where there's some high-class sorcerers that can help us figure that situation
completely
out.
unrelated, but we did get an invitation to the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so that covers Boogly's element. Let's talk about what else happened.
That is what Boogly's thinking.
We had the festival.
Everybody else is like, what the hell happened? We're going to see the king. I don't know.
We just had a good time at the festival.
We did.
But if all goes well, I'm going to give the bag of holding back to Ren.
My rat almost got stomped by
It's a little used,
Finnick.
but
mid.
Right.
Saw
it's probably caught girl corpse in there, but it should still work.
It's not the first one, I'm sure.
Oh.
And
Won't be the last.
yeah, we had the festival. And it was kind of two invitations, right? Where it's we have to meet with the king and them, right? As well. We obviously couldn't deny it. They said you can't deny this invitation to the party. You have to come.
Yeah. So, essentially, you guys...
And then escort the caravan back on our way?
So you guys are escorting the caravan to the
okay.
capital, because it's convenient.
Mm-hmm.
And then, at the ball, you guys are kind of the pre-ball entertainment. So...
Oh.
Pre-balling.
And I guess you don't really know that yet, because the invitations didn't go into that detail, but you'll find out as soon as you reach the capital.
I hate being classified as entertainment.
No, that's perfect.
I don't pre-ball, I blue ball.
I pre.
That is Boogly's motto.
So yeah. All right.
I gotta see my dude for my clothes in the capital too.
Tanner, you see your
clothes?
new sheet
Yeah.
that I printed out. So at the bottom is your.
I got nice
Ooh,
clothes, but
so
I wanted
just
ball
as
attire.
you do more,
like
just,
party attire.
Pack it up and I'll update.
Thank you.
I also, since you took level 5, and so I've revealed level 7. There you go. To you.
This is like Scientology.
Right.
You've done enough auditing now. You and Tom Cruise can go together, become level 8.
You have no idea how much I've sacrificed.
How much you paid Cliff?
And if anyone else wants a godlike weapon, just
I am
slip me a
800K in the hole.
And he promised Cliff your next 2 billion years of existence. Cliff is actually a demon making contracts.
Oh my gosh, I would kind of love that.
It'd be so funny.
How much do I owe that guy? Was it 15,000?
You don't remember?
15,000?
It's 5,000 that you owe. Yeah.
Oh, I'm doing so much better.
Who?
We managed to front 1,000.
The blacksmith?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a homie.
Yeah, fantastic guy.
Yeah.
He is awesome.
Very nice.
Yeah, and I hadn't fully decided, but it's probably payments over 3 years. It's probably going to be 20 gold a month. 20 to 25 gold a month is what you'd be charged.
Try to pay him back as soon as possible, because then he can make more stuff. Did he? What was being made? Daggers.
We made
and
daggers and my armor.
Okay.
His armor was the big one.
Yeah, then a dagger for the king, dagger for Mogar and Mogar's dad.
Yeah.
Freaking can't remember your name. Dutch is the friend who's oh, I forgot my wallet, guys. Everywhere we go. It's yeah, you have money for your magic ball, your magic orb, whatever, dude. And then it's can I got 1,000 for this armor, dude?
You know I'm good for it.
Yeah, exactly.
I I was the first one to say I'm going to walk away because I don't have this money.
I know.
Oh.
I'm just memeing you because it's funny.
But it's
It
pretty
is
good.
it is pretty hilarious.
Pretty good upgrade for you, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
it'll be
AC
worth having.
what you have.
Yeah.
And you've got the resistance to the psychic damage,
Yeah.
right? Because
Yeah.
it's,
There's a lot more that dragon armor does, but it's only specific for dragons, so it won't really like that won't come into play. But yeah, as far as like what it does, it's like very nice.
What it do? Oh no.
and then
As far as what it do and what it be.
Oh wait, is this?
those are the old sheets,
Oh okay.
just for you guys' record.
Yes.
And then you had asked about the getting more balls for your belt,
Mhm.
and I told you the
Capital.
Yeah,
I remember that.
to be aware of. All right. Any other questions then? I think that
More nuck for my book.
takes care of us. All right. So,
Y'all ain't ready for some of these spells I prepared.
if I recall, you guys left without him.
Yeah, he was gonna catch up to us. Oh wait, no, we stopped on the way because we were passing the farm.
Oh,
and we
yeah.
went and the
You're
last
like,
thing we
"Boogly,
did was
what
look at
is
the bag
keeping
Like,
you?"
we need to
and
go.
decide it's gone, and now we just set off
We
and decided our
watched
order.
Boogly
I
crawl
think
into the bag of holding. And we're just like,
I took a look at it too.
did you?
I
Yeah.
didn't say anything.
And Boogly, I don't know if you realize, but you nearly suffocated in there.
Yeah, he did. He realized he was running out of oxygen when his torch went out. Remember?
Oh,
He
yeah.
said that. But I was like laughing because I was like gonna laugh so hard if we had to go find him and he's just dead in this bag. Bury the bag under a tree.
Bury me inside.
Bury me in Calgary.
Lay me down in a bag of holding.
Sarah comes out from the outhouse. He's dead in the bag. She's like, "What?" He was like just in the bathroom the whole
The
time.
horse is just laughing his head off.
Yeah, he's like, "I was Josh, and I didn't think he would
I
die."
usually talk to humans. You could hear me?
Yeah, I thought I was talking to myself. Yeah, and I think the last thing we did was just set off and like decide some type of order. I think I was by Ian, and one of you was in the bag.
I was like in the middle, I think. Boomtown. I don't know.
Oh,
if
yeah.
Gil.
Wait, quick question. When do you
Lazy Town.
prepare new spells? Like, if you want to, is it just when you rest?
Long
Druids.
rest for most druids might be able to switch out short rest, but I think
it's
long
different for
rest.
each spellcaster. I think druids are when you go to sleep. Like
By the way, if I ever get to level 20, I can use beast form.
Yes.
Ever many
Mhm.
times.
You also have true polymorph, which means if you wanted to, you could just turn yourself into like an actual dragon.
And now that I'm level 9, because with Druid of the Circle, my CR, my max CR
Yeah,
I can
way
do
up.
is my level divided by 3 rounded down. So now I can go up to level 3.
Which is very good.
What animals do you have there? You have like a freaking giant. You have giant everything.
I know CR2, I had like an Allosaurus.
Yeah.
Is that like Ali A who makes those sweet Fortnite videos on YouTube for like 4-year-olds?
Okay, so forgive me, I didn't have time to find actual carts, but that's the
Man,
caravan.
those look delicious.
And
Want me to protect him or eat him, dude? You know what I mean?
all right, so sorry, I wasn't listening. What was the order? I think Ren and Gil were in the back. Is
Yes.
that-
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was by Mogar, and I think he
pretty
was in
much
the
back
front,
here, I think.
but I don't remember. I remember.
Boo
You were here?
Yeah. And my rat's with me, so I'll just say the wolf is a rat.
It could be a winter wolf, a giant scorpion, a killer whale, an ankylosaurus.
Sorry, what is an ankylosaurus?
Ankylosaurus.
Like the Loch Ness, I think.
Isn't Ankylosaurus
Pussy?
the one with like the club?
No,
tail?
that's an
right,
ankylosaurus.
Oh, yeah.
I was very good at dinosaurs.
What, are you gonna eat some tree stars, dude? What is this, Land Before Time, dude?
We actually watched that with Mavis last week for the first time.
You gonna be like Petrie and have your dad kill you, dude?
I was gonna be like,
Was that her? Is that who it was?
No, Ducky.
Oh, Ducky's the one whose dad went nuts, killed mom.
oh, like in real life. Okay, I'm
Yeah.
like, wait, did I miss a
Okay,
part
like
of
that's
that
a
movie?
dark arc for those movies. I didn't see that one coming.
It was dark enough.
All right.
What is that
I'll
supposed to
always be
mean?
with you.
So
Hey!
oh, good
That
timing.
bamboo flake? Oh, and our
Thought he was
proficiency
getting
bonus
off
went
it.
to 4 last time, I remember.
You there?
Honey.
Let's make sure my sound is working here.
Initiative is purely based
Thank
on
God it's me,
dexterity,
Margaret.
right?
Yep.
We don't add anything unless.
False. You're right.
What's your hit points looking at?
During this caravan walk, would that be a long rest or a short rest, or are we not resting at all?
It's
We're
not a
walking
rest.
the whole time. Okay.
But you'll
Mine
get
is
long
67.
rests each night.
Oh, so we can assume there was a long
76.
rest.
Not for
I just didn't know
you
if that was
Well,
low
you
or
because
Right.
you
Flexing.
didn't get enough sleep.
What class are
wait.
you?
Because you went to bed at like
Warlock?
4 a.m. with Gil.
Mostly with some
Mostly
sword.
and then
sword-
you were
Oh yeah,
woke
but I
up.
mean like
Yeah.
as we
Warlocks
walk with the
hit that.
caravan.
So after
Sorcerer,
tonight,
it's,
you'll get a
Oh,
long
Okay,
rest.
okay, okay.
I think mine might be a D10, but I didn't put very much in Constitution.
All right.
Which I should have put more in Constitution because my vampire bite goes off Constitution.
Oh.
Yeah, which.
Interesting.
But it makes sense because it gives me hit points back. So
There was
it's
that
like-
outline around his
the
picture, so
trade-off.
he's talking.
Oh,
I
really?
did rely
Yeah.
heavily on
Oh, yeah.
Constitution.
Constitution is a good stat, I think. I mean, dexterity is like the god stat, but. Mama.
Let's see.
Have you tried right clicking his name?
Just make sure he's not. Okay,
Oh,
he's not all the
no,
way
he's all the
up.
way
He is
up.
quiet sometimes, so maybe he's not.
And then
Ian, put something in the chat.
there's
if
not
you're
somewhere to
talking.
like just test this mic.
The way I usually do it is hit the check for that, and then if you can hear yourself.
Can I hear myself?
I mean, it's picking up something.
It is.
The mic's picking up, but it's not playing it out of the speakers. There it is.
Well, don't know why that's not working.
Mine does that sometimes.
Oh, Ian, we can hear
If you
now.
plug in or unplug something, my Discord will freak
You can hear
out.
me?
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah, I like that you swallowed your mic.
Hello?
We can
Hello.
hear you. Can you hear us? Maybe it's.
Yeah, can you hear me? I can't.
Yes,
can't
we
tell.
can hear
Nobody's
you.
responding.
Oh,
We've said yes like 4 times.
he can't hear us. Okay. That's good to know.
Is it? Well, it picked up though when you test the mic.
Yeah. Okay, how about...
I think it's the.
Hello.
Probably him.
I'm just driving home right now,
Yeah.
so
Okay.
I might not be talking, but I'm here.
But he needs to hear us.
Can you hear us now?
I can hear you. I think that there's just like a lag between us.
Yeah, there is, and it's because we're doing the share screen. But we don't need to share screen if you're driving.
It's true.
Actually, no. Put us on your dashboard.
Alright, we'll see if that helps. Okay.
Ah,
So we just reviewed. So we're going to go ahead with the story. So Mogar guides the party to the meeting site. So we already did this. All right. So you guys headed out. All right. So the first day of travel, and here's our map. So we are going from Raymouth up to Anatar,
so north.
north.
Yep, to the capital. To the north. Capital.
So the first day's travel will take you basically to Capitol Pier, or like to that intersection north of Capitol Pier, and then it'll take about 4 more days if you guys kind of move at the normal caravan pace to reach the capital. And it's a pretty straight shot from there. So the initial journey is, just fine and dandy. You guys reach Capitol Pier in a few hours. So you guys have been here many times before. This is just like the unloading point for cargo that comes downriver from the capital. The merchants take their first break here. Some of them, sometimes there's like short run supplies that Raymouth suppliers, drop, like have sent to the inn here. So that's kind of their first stop. And it's really the only stop until the capital. But you guys have probably like 30 minutes to do anything here, if you want.
I'm gonna take a really long pee.
Okay.
I'm gonna assume Boogly just wants to get some shut eye, even if it's for a half
What are
hour.
the logistics
because
of
he's
that?
had a rather long morning.
Yeah.
Like pooping. I guess it's like regular camping. You gotta bury it, so like owlbears don't come kill you or something.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna take these upstairs
Owlbears
and run away.
love scat.
Videos.
All right. So they wrap up their business, and then guys get going on the way, and the rest of the day travel kind of again. It takes
Do we
you
know
up
what
to the
cargo they're
intersection.
hauling?
It's really just general
Random stuff.
cargo. So it's trade items between Raymouth and Anatar. Most of what it is comes from Anatar. The industrial work there is brought down to Raymouth. So
So is
Raymouth-
it like Raymouth is like trading like grains and stuff like that? Or?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's exactly right actually, because Raymouth is more of the agriculture.
That makes sense. So they get the processed stuff from Anatar, and then Raymouth is the one that grows a lot of stuff. That makes sense.
Yep, and there would also be a few of the wagons that are loaded down with timber.
Okay, yeah.
You might remember when you went to Mayhall Ruins, that cathedral area. You could pass a lumber mill.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
was
Okay.
east of the town. So, yeah, that's right. It's mostly raw materials that are sent to the capital for processing. But there are always some craft items or whatever.
Yeah.
So then the rest of the day reach the intersection, and the merchants know this route like the back of the hand. They do it all the time, so they know where to stop and kind of where they end the day. Overall, the energy is a little higher than normal because of the capital ball that's coming up. Not that these merchants are going to be at the ball. It's still a high society ball, right? Not just anyone can go to the castle for this. But it just creates a buzz around town, and there's lots of trading that kind of happens, in the lead up to it.
Yeah.
And there's local, celebrations that happen around the same time. But for them, it's kind of they probably had their own Harvest Moon Festival in the capital, and then this ball just it comes closer to the equinox.
Yeah.
On the weekend when more people are free. You have something to add?
Cut to Ian's car flipping over, rolling.
So that's kind of how the first day wraps up. You guys are at the old familiar intersection. Is there any way that you guys want to spend the evening?
So I guess we're guarding, so we should be the ones doing the night or doing the shifts.
Yeah.
So obviously I'll watch for part of the time, and I guess I could have my rat watch too, whenever.
Yeah, I was
just
gonna
keep
have
watch.
Imp do it too.
Rats are nocturnal, are they? Are they nocturnal?
I don't know.
I can see that.
Makes
they're
sense to
going
me.
nowhere.
But either way, I'll hang out. Nope. I painted him yellow. I keep throwing him at things, making him fight different animals in the forest. He's
I say, guys, I will be part of the night watch every night after this night.
my watch is
But
ended.
tonight, I need to get some sleep. Is that cool?
Oh yeah, you partied all night with Gil.
Yeah.
Gil's totally fine.
As long as you drink some water for me. Drink water. Hydrate.
He
Get some
marched
sleep.
all day. He's incredibly dehydrated at this point.
I look at Dutch and I go, I'll do you even better. And so I cast Tidal Wave. No, I'm kidding. I cast it.
Just kill yourself.
And so I'm like, okay, Dutch, I will drink a ton of water and then go to bed.
Thanks, man.
And Gil's like, "Don't worry, Dutch. I'm hydrating too." He's just got a barrel of ale.
I knew that was going. You go, buddy.
I look at Gil, I'm like, you're a bad influence.
Do they just circle the caravan up when we go to sleep, or
You're a pad of influence.
have an intervention with Gil? He's a dwarf. I don't even think he can drink too much.
Not
That's
really.
exactly what's enabling him.
Yeah. So we're gonna make him not a dwarf anymore. Polymorph him into a human.
He just dies of cumulative hangover, instantly.
Well, these guys are peers in the trade. They're not like they're from all sorts of different companies. So there's like a professional respect and camaraderie, but it's probably not to the point where like
They want
circle up
and they don't want to be talking near each other about business and stuff.
right. Yeah, like there's the potential to lose trade.
So are we in
secrets
charge
or-
of making sure? I'm assuming all of them are safe then? Like, there's no other guards besides us, right?
Yeah, right.
Okay, well, we gotta be able to watch, so maybe each of us needs to stay with a separate caravan. It'll be like Avatar. By the end of it, I'll be like, yeah, I don't want to put my blanket over the, or I don't want to put my tarp over the tent. I want to use it to keep myself warm.
And this intersection is,
Probably
very safe.
Fairly safe, yeah.
From here on out,
I just figured just so we knew in advance, too.
yeah. As you get more into the wilderness, like in between, then it'll be more dangerous, especially because there might be goblin
Yeah.
groups, patrols, or.
I guess there's
scouts.
enough of us where we can just all watch together, but yeah, that's my only plan is just to make sure I do the best job I can so we don't get in trouble.
Great.
And because Hunter doesn't want, anybody to get hurt.
Hunter cares.
Sometimes.
All right, who's got first watch?
I do.
Just you?
Yeah.
How many do we need, I guess?
3.
3. And there's 4 of us?
You
5 counting Gil.
Yeah, and Ren.
Oh, 6. Okay, we got a decent amount. So should we just do 2 each?
That'll work.
Yeah. I'll go with him then first.
All right. In the middle shift, there's some commotion, but it reveals itself just to be a boar, and it scatters off quickly enough. But all the rest of the night is quite silent.
Boar as an animal, or boar as in just something that's not interesting?
Animal.
Why not both?
Animal. True, actually. Wasn't very interesting.
Okay, so second day.
I mean, is the front one Mogar's family then? Is that who it is?
No, Mogar's family normally acts as escort. They're not actually merchants themselves.
Family's a bunch of escorts.
Yeah. So none of his
That's
family
the favorite
are
guy.
here.
I guess they can turn into anything. They probably would be
Well,
the...
just him.
Yeah, it's just him.
Oh, he's the only...
adopted.
Okay. Cringe.
All right. The second day goes on. So, on the second day of travel, you pass, like, people passing by, kind of note that there have been some dangers or words of front lines kind of edging closer in our direction. And so they just kind of say, exercise, caution as you're going along.
What was that, Ian?
He's muted.
See, it sounds like the Crash Bandicoot
Don't worry
sound.
about it.
Alright.
But other than that, the second day passes without, much incident. Like the merchants just kind of go on, they talk. There's some occasional breaking out into, travel music, whatever. Some people pick up their loots or whatever. So it's just kind of a good travel day. And again, that excitement level is high because they're all going back to the capital. It's just a good time. Also, a lot of them, got drunk and had fun during the Harvest Moon Festival. So it's just a good day all around.
Stone Temple Pilots.
If there's anything in particular you guys want to do during these days of travel, you need to let me know.
Just guard.
Yeah.
Make sure.
Yeah.
Watch for any scary bandits.
I'm gonna be on the
I'll
top
say
of my game.
nothing specific. I actually wake up in a pretty good mood, so I'm just like,
Yeah, I bet Boogly's feeling great.
comparatively good mood.
All right, so second night comes along. So who's the watch order then? Who's taking first?
I
we
will,
just keep the same.
Yeah.
as per the agreement, I will volunteer.
All right, so it was you two for first shift,
Mhm.
and then who do you want to go with for second shift?
Not Gil.
Although I have a really high perception, maybe I should. Well, I guess there's an equal
I'll
chance
go
of
with
something
Ren.
happening anytime, so.
And then Mogar and Gil will take their shift.
Boogoo's gonna start hitting on Ren.
So, I've recently become single.
You don't count the other promise to the
Yeah, if you don't
fiance.
know. If you expect, but if you expect this to just be a fling, neither of us get her. No, but I do tell her, I'm like, hey,
She would for science.
if we get if you'd like, if we get this stuff resolved, I'm happy to give this bag of holding back to you.
Back? It was never hers.
She wanted to study it though.
She says it was never mine.
Yeah, but I'm being nice. Come on.
That is nice of you, Boogly. I appreciate that. But I have my own bag of holding, and so far it's only 5/8 full, so I still have room.
Okay, cool. Just thought I'd offer, and we don't
What?
speak for the rest of them.
Did what? 5 what full?
5/8.
Okay. I thought you said, thought it was 5 days full.
What does that mean?
She just like has found a way to manipulate time.
Yeah.
it's like-
Wait, that's one for the master, one for the Dane. Nursery rhyme joke, nice.
She
Good call, man.
she says, Boogly, we don't really speak very much. How's it
I
going?
see why now.
Oh, I'm stressing out because I had this whole fling with Sarah, and then turns out Marglar, my fiance, was still
Shame it's invisible.
was able to escape the village, and so I'm ending up with her. So I had to break up with Sarah, and yada yada. I kind of just
Just ramble.
It's like girl
Just-
talk.
I kind of I just
Good though.
vomit all of my built up tension on her. So I'm like, so I'm doing better today, but overall I'm just stressing out right now.
And really, Ren, this is why I can't be with you. This is why we can't be together. Like, that's how it ends.
I'm
up.
flattered,
Yeah.
but
The funny thing is, like, Ren is really terrible with people, actually.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
if you think back to that first
Yeah.
time that you met with her, like, she, was not good at, like, talking. So, like, as you, maybe Boogly probably doesn't know, you're just bearing your soul, but she's just kind of like, sorry I asked.
Yeah. Ooh.
Like, this is not what it's like, the last time I asked somebody how they're doing.
I'm saving the rest of you an awkward conversation with Ren.
But yeah, so you go on probably for about 10 minutes like this, and then she's just kind of like silent, like, And
Then I say, how about you?
Oh, wait! Do you hear that? Sure enough,
And I,
we'll do a perception check.
perception is
she just rips a massive part. Most unladylike thing,
whatever it
like-
is. So
Not really good with
that's
people.
Ooh,
Yeah.
21.
Alright. Sure enough, you
Foghorn.
do hear something in the woods.
It's Marglar.
That's the AI interpretation of my guy.
Do you want to
Oh,
investigate?
actually came
Or?
out pretty well. Usually I suck.
Yeah, I say, okay, I'll go. Okay, Ren, you stay here. I'll go investigate.
Is that the
Okay,
dream?
I'll cover you from range.
Starry.
I go.
Oh.
As I go and where's the sound coming from?
This way.
Oh, this way. I go in that way.
Is here. Alright. How are you going to investigate?
Retrieve.
What are my spells?
That song is a banger though.
Actually, let's do this.
Let's do this.
I am going to cast Commune with Nature.
Okay.
You briefly become one with nature and gain knowledge of the surrounding territory. In the outdoors, the spell gives you knowledge of the land within 3 miles of you. In caves and other natural underground settings, the radius is limited to 300 feet. The spell doesn't function where nature has been replaced by construction, such as in dungeons and towns. You instantly gain knowledge of up to 3 facts of your choice about any of the following subjects they relate to around the area.
Age, sex, and location.
Okay. Alright.
There's probably a lower level, probably more efficient spell I can use, but I want to try this one out.
What are your facts that you want to know?
Are there any...
Any of the...
You should send a note.
Following
Horny
the
vibes
sun.
out in the forest.
Dryad.
Probably.
You don't need to tie yourself to those.
You like debating. Nature's
Is
kind
it
of cool
really
that
just-
way.
So they have to be one of these, or I can. Okay. I'll just say, is there
Nature's
anything
lit.
hostile?
Let's just say if I was in Percy Jackson, this would have done something different.
Um,
Forest, you feel me?
So yeah, you
Wait,
get the sense that there is something hostile.
Are they hostile? What are they, and where are they?
Good questions. Good facts. There are 3 goblins
They're right behind you.
about
In your back
100
holding.
feet straight ahead of you. And they are crouching among like the leaves and bushes.
A bogus.
Now they don't know I know they're there. So can I do do I have some kind of advantage when they think they're being sneaky, but I know where they are, and I can just
I mean, you have the advantage that they can't surprise you. If
Yeah.
you can figure out a way to surprise them.
But I've also just cast a spell, so I don't know if that uses up my turn. Or...
No, because they're 100 feet from you.
Yeah, they're
still,
not
so-
close enough to know exactly what you did.
And they're going to be going close. They're going slowly also because they're sneaking. But what you could do is essentially have a reaction ready, so that when combat starts, that you kind of
Okay, so
get
I'll,
to do your action.
I'll have a ready. Yeah.
All right. And you're just going to approach them, like you're just going to keep walking normally, or
How close am I to Ren?
she's about 100 feet behind you, which is fine. She's got the range.
I was more just gonna look at her and be like,
Oh, yeah, she can see in the dark. It's 120 feet, isn't it?
Yeah, if you have the
Dutch, 120 feet for.
Yes.
Okay.
the devil sight.
So she's actually more like
Devil
60
sight.
feet from you.
okay,
devil legs.
Because
The
so
bright
she can
sight.
see 60 feet past you.
Classic.
But she can see you just fine. So yeah, if you signal to her, she'll see it.
okay.
Can't
I'll just
teach
be like
English, by the way.
right there, and she can probably
What was the
kind
other one?
of scan that and be like, oh yeah.
Take a
buttress.
pic.
You can't see her, right?
Because
You don't have dark vision.
Well, yeah, but I know.
So
where
I would
that's
probably
going,
try
right?
to shit.
Yeah. Do you have a
There's
torch?
so many, but
Or you going
Debris
in the dark?
is my favorite.
I didn't think about the torch, so I guess we can just say I'm going.
Technically
dark.
French, I think. Maybe that's why.
Not smart.
But you don't have dark vision.
You can turn into something
I
that
do
has
not
dark
think I
vision.
have dark vision.
Let me see what the moon is like.
Goliaths don't, for sure.
I don't know if maybe if I was a druid, if
No,
No.
but you can turn into stuff that has dark vision.
Oh, but you know what? Or wait. No. It's a full moon right now. Oh, that's right, because the festival
Yeah.
is the full moon. Yeah,
Well,
so,
yeah, and if it's on the harvest moon, that's, always a full moon.
so you can actually see
Hunter's moon.
quite well. Like, there's trees. It's not quite forested, but there's trees. But yeah, you can see very well under the light of the full moon.
okay. Now, goblins being in the vicinity, is this the oh crap, raise the alarm kind of situation, or is it just I'll just take them out quietly?
You can
To your
probably
house.
take him
Okay,
out.
well, we'll go
up to
quietly because
you.
I don't want to. I don't want to wake up the boys
Yeah.
who have been nice enough to
Or
let me sleep that first night.
wake up and scare the people.
Well, I don't care about them, but you guys are just being bros to me, so I was.
But what you
Cool.
know, for certain, is that there are only 3 of them within 300 feet of you because of your spell.
I thought it was 3 miles.
I think that's at 300 feet.
That was in a cave, I think. That's right. I think it is 3 miles.
Oh.
I think if you're underground, it's 300.
Oh,
in
yeah.
caves and other natural underground settings.
Ah, okay.
But if it's outside in nature. It's
So there
3
you go.
miles.
There are no other goblins within 3 miles.
Okay. What about other stuff? Okay. So I'm just gonna. I asked you if they're hostile. Are they hostile?
They are.
Okay, if they're not, if they're trying to do some nice stuff, and I just kill one.
We're the Goblin
Yeah,
Peace
well-
Corps. Cut it out.
Oh, you haven't heard of us? Oh yeah, the Goblin Army gives us a bad rap.
Goblin Red Cross. They're like ringing a bell.
We
Goblin
are
crazy.
the Pony Express. I'll use Ice Knife on this front guy.
All right, what's your range?
60 feet.
Okay. So as soon as he gets it within 60 feet.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's roll for initiative, quick.
That plus. Well, 1.
So they go first, but you had that reaction ready, so go ahead.
Okay. Ice knife, good shot. On a hit, the target takes 1d10 piercing damage. Which one's the d10? This a d10?
Yeah.
Okay. 1d10 piercing damage. Hit or miss. The target explodes. Must
I have a rope trick. That's weird. So
9. Okay, so it's 9 piercing damage, and then the ice knife will explode, and then now each creature within 5 feet of it. These guys aren't 5
They're
feet.
not.
No.
Okay, no, so. I think the guy I just hit will just take another 2d6 cold damage.
All right, so
Oh, well, okay.
I mean, so your knife hits perfectly and just like right in the chest, and then just like kind of explodes in ice around him, and he dies. These two are like wah, and they start running up to you. So you were 60 feet, so they're gonna dash to be 60 feet.
It's like when I pull a spell up and it's 4 walls of text.
So they're about 30 feet from you,
Okay,
maybe like 15 feet.
okay. And that was their turn.
Oh,
just
no,
to
so
move.
That's
they
their
killed
turn,
Charlie.
They
Okay.
dash. And then Ren will go ahead and fire off, and she blasts one to Kingdom Come as well. And and so your turn was taken with the action. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can do a move. Oh no! So you'd have another action.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll just use ice knife number 2 on that guy.
Okay.
So 1d.
What does it automatically hit, or what is it?
You create a shard to fling that one creature, make a ranged spell attack against the
Ranged
target.
spell attack.
Yeah.
So
And is that a d20 or
D20? Yeah.
11 plus what do
Your
I?
spell attack modifier?
Which is dexterity?
No.
It's wisdom.
Oh, if it's wisdom, then
I mean, it should be listed here somewhere. There, it's +8.
oh, so 19.
Alright. I guess go ahead and roll for damage. You should probably kill him. It's just a goblin.
2 piercing damage and 2 cold damage.
You do not kill him. Wow.
I should have just taken your assumptions.
Alright, so he's gonna run up to you and swing and a crit.
It's always a crit.
8 damage. 8 slashing damage. Not that it matters. You'll get it all back once you finish your long rest. And then Ren snipes him down. And that's it.
Alright. I turn around and go, good job, Ren. High five.
She gives you... Ren doesn't do a high five. But she says, good job, Boogly. Nice to liven up the night.
And I go,
And then she returns back. And third watch goes fine. And then you guys wake up.
Yay!
In the morning, when you guys are just like chatting, having breakfast, Ren...
and you said the third watch, so that was the second watch.
That was the second watch.
And so a third watch goes by and never...
Yeah, I already
Okay, so
rolled
we
for
can
that.
assume I've rested.
Yes, you've rested. So in the morning, Ren kind of tells you guys like that a few either goblin scouts or just like a little group trying to sneak off with some of the merchant's cash must got close, but took it out. All right. I think is that the third? It's the third day now. Yes. All right, third day.
I completely forgot about this spell. Rope trick, because I get it as part of my
Oh,
thing,
man.
but the one that like makes the little door above you.
Oh yeah.
You can climb up the rope, and it's like, it's such a goofy spell, but it's so fun.
The Fagin special.
Like, legit.
Third day. Anything for you guys?
I'm gonna start whittling a stick.
Hunter's just happy, yeah, it's going fairly without incident. And everybody is fine, right? Talking to everybody and stuff, they're pretty
Yeah.
normal.
Yep.
Yeah, he's happy to just keep going then.
Yeah, like the merchants will kind of tell you how like they've had to adjust business a little bit since this whole theme started. But this far along, it's kind of just business as usual now.
Yeah.
Like, so you hire a few extra guards, and you take a little extra caution, right? You don't just kind of stop anywhere now. You have set spots that are a little safer, right?
That makes sense.
So it's just kind of like little changes like that. But in the end, the goal is, business needs to keep going. And in some cases, business is better because of the war.
Yeah, there's more probably.
All right, so let's see what first, second,
It's like Canto Bite.
and third watch do.
Reckon.
All right, so the whole night passes without incident. You guys are now a little more than midway to the capital, and you really are just kind of in the middle of nowhere. This far along, there are really only like hamlets, like the occasional person who just kind of wants to live off on their own, and you're kind of in between like the county borders at this point. So there's not really civilization. What there probably is the beginnings of what will one day be a town here.
Okay.
Because, people move and then more people move kind of close-ish to them, right? And so you're having like scattered houses here, and one day that will become a trade hub, probably in like 20 years. That will
Hipsters start moving there, everybody will follow.
Yeah. All right, so day 4.
That's what it gave me.
That's pretty good.
Anything on day 4? Now you guys are getting really close to the capital. At this point, you're like passing by the mouth of the lake, and so occasionally you'll see like a boat passing through, in the distance. You're not right along it just yet, but you can see it off on the horizon.
Fireball.
There you go.
Fireball.
It's actually has a thin layer of gasoline on the top, and just the whole thing.
They've been
Not
fracking.
Gasoline Lake.
Yeah, gasoline.
You idiot! Everyone knows how to catch
Yeah,
fireball.
it's
Yeah,
like-
not Lake Kerosene.
Yeah, they've been like
What would be more useful?
refining natural gas for like 30 years at this place.
What do you think would be more useful, greater restoration or mass cure wounds?
Ooh, depends on the scenario.
Mass cure wounds is always good.
Mass cure wounds gives us a lot of health. If somebody gets like an arm cut off or something, greater restoration.
Mass cure wounds more. I can just do cast cure wounds on like 6 people.
Yeah, which is
The greater
good.
restoration, I think, would be like an arm.
Because mass
thing.
cure wounds also doesn't have the touch requirement, which
Yeah.
is a big bonus.
So greater restoration I think would be better, but its uses are limited.
Yeah, because greater restoration, you can one effect that charmed or petrified the target. Okay. Or I can end an effect that charmed or petrified the target. I can end a curse, including the target gets attunement to the curse magic item. I can any reduction.
I already
to the
have
target's
greater
raise.
restoration, by the way.
Holy shit!
Just
I
to
never
let you
got
know.
those there. My God.
In that case, I'd probably just mass cure wounds.
Yeah.
The way if our party's doing bad, I can just be like.
Okay, so day 4 then goes, and then, and now the merchants are really getting excited. You're basically good to go at this point, and in fact, also along the road, you see like
Just had
soldiers
multiple generations.
marching, heading to the front lines or heading back to the capital. But there's a good amount of traffic of soldiers as well.
So yeah, we're not like alone on the trail. Now we're starting to see like general.
Yeah.
Traffic, lots of traffic.
Yeah,
General traffic.
it's maybe not lots, but it's more. Day 2 and 3, you didn't really see much, but now day 4, then
Yeah,
you're
we're getting
seeing
close.
more traffic. It's mostly soldiery, like either heading to or from the front lines, messengers that are going out, and the occasional like farmer or tradesman that's kind of heading off without a caravan. That night. In the third watch, a horn is sounded. And let's see, that's Mogar and Gil. So, in the third watch, you hear the sound of a horn in the distance, and there's kind of a big turmoil after that among the merchants and nearby like soldiers who might have also camped nearby, and you overhear. Well, let's do a perception check to see if you overhear the soldiers or if they have to tell you.
18.
Yeah. Any of the other
And
guys?
we're
Oh, okay, so we can all.
Yeah.
because the horn was sounded, so even if we're asleep.
Yeah.
Okay.
I lied. 14.
What? check is
18
this?
actually.
Perception. Yeah, the horn would have like woken you up.
That makes sense.
It wasn't like right in your face, but
I hope not.
it's in the distance, but loud enough. And, yeah.
20.
So you guys hear some of the nearby soldiers, because basically what happened, the caravan parked for the night, and some passing soldiers were like, "Oh, hey, this is a good place to hang out." Also, and you guys probably shared stories or whatever. So you hear this band of soldiers nearby who say, like, that horn means that they've broken through the front lines, and they're like heading probably in this direction. We need to be ready. What do you guys want to do?
Sounds like I should probably get ready.
It's one of those things where it's like we could help and do a lot, but at the same time, there's a lot of soldiers. They probably got it.
Well, they're gonna run into us either way, I think is what he's saying. Is if they broke through that line, the only thing in their way now is us.
Yeah, essentially it means like whatever offensive is happening to the west is heading east.
It's probably not worth trying to make the caravan move.
Well, the merchants are definitely anxious about this because some of them overheard it as well, and so you hear some of them saying we should leave now. So
Do we have any idea how long we have before we run into them? Can we see them in the distance?
you
at
can't
all?
see
Or
anything. There's no movement that you can see happening.
how quick do the merchants think they could move?
10 minutes.
What do you guys think? Hunter's down to have a move, and then we just
I
protect
think
them as
should
we go.
move. Yep.
But also, are the soldiers requesting that we help them?
No, in fact, the soldiers are saying you guys need to get going right now.
I'm kind of leaning towards let's just move with the caravan and then
Yeah, we should move. Hunter's
stuff
main
hits
thing
the
is
fan, we'll turn
just
around
protecting these guys, doing
and
his job.
address the issue.
Yeah, we'll protect them as we go. If we run into them or not, so.
Okay, so as the 10 minutes pass, you guys are probably helping out the caravans, get
Yeah.
going too. And it basically, like, all the cargo is still there. It's more about picking up camp, getting the horses strapped in, and hitched to the wagons.
And you and Ren have really good dark vision, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So you guys can just look out for
He
them.
even has a familiar as well. And the soldiers are all getting ready to form a line. You hear other horns sounding, as like they try to regroup in the distance or whatever. And the soldiers are hurrying you along, but they're not like panicking yet. So
Probably happens sometimes, anyways. They just manage to get some goblins get through.
right, yeah. So the 10 minutes does pass. Like everyone's able to get loaded up, and they say, "Mogar, let's move," and you guys get going. And then Ren, kind of as you guys are beginning, to move, then Ren and Dutch, you can roll for this too, since you've got the vision. Make a perception check.
Got the touch.
16.
All right, not enough for you, but
Oh.
Ren does say, like, there, and she kind of points to the west. There's a movement in the trees.
Cribbing from Dunland.
And you hear the soldiers nearby you now, like, sound one of their horns, and they all kind of like ready up. All right, let's just make a animal handling check for the merchants, and
And so she can see them. They're close-ish.
Yeah, the tree line that's about 200 feet away.
Okay, yeah, so I'm gonna get ready to fight as well. I'll get my wolf out too if we have time.
So there's nothing really that you guys need to do. This is just for the merchants to see how they do. Okay.
So Aaron's
So the merchants are all able to
her sister-in-law.
Control the
horses, kind of get them going. So it's not slowed down, and so you guys are able to get out safely from the area.
Oh, so we do. Okay.
Yep. And so you leave behind the sounds of horns and whatnot, and you never actually hear any battle going on. So either it didn't happen, or you guys were just too far away when it did.
And the goblins she saw were just like regular goblins.
She didn't actually see any.
Just
She
movement.
just saw movement of the trees.
Okay.
Yeah.
Vietnam.
As a Fortunate Son starts playing.
So are you guys just gonna push ahead then from here?
That's
Yes.
what I'm down to do. Yeah.
If that's what they are, yeah, I mean, there's probably not a good idea to just we like barely get away and just like stop again.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. We'll keep going then.
All right. So you guys just continue on ahead, and you see the sun rising about an hour after this ordeal, and you a few hours later. So it's probably around 10. About 10ish in the morning, you guys can see the capital in sight. So you're now like really just rounding this bend, and from here it's only like 2 more hours to the capital. By the way, the caravan, like a normal traveler could get there probably in an hour, but the caravan will take about 2 hours to get there. All right. So now it's the 5th day, and you guys reach the outskirts of Anatar. As usual, the caravan, stops outside the gates to the capital. No worse for wear, but certainly more like a little more skittish now that having that incident happen, the morning that they arrive. But everyone's really relieved to reach the capital. And they make this stop. They always stop outside the gates to make final checks on their inventories, secure everything down. Once you get past the gates, the foot traffic in the capital can be quite chaotic to navigate, and you just never know if some thief is going to try and steal something off the merchant among the chaos, or whatever. So, while you guys are resting, waiting for the merchants to complete their task, a young boy, perhaps 10 years of age, approaches you, grinning, and he's just grinning proudly at Hunter. His teeth beam under the light of the midday sun, and he says to you, "She would like me to test you." He gives a sideway nod of his head, motioning to an even younger girl sitting on a nearby rock, eagerly watching the scene unfold. "No one else intervene!" he shouts to the crowd of the
Didn't go very
merchants
well
that
for me
won.
last time.
"This is going to be a fair match." A few of the merchants kind of overhear this commotion and this boy shouting, and they stop what they're doing, drawing close around you to view the spectacle. And with a grand wave of his hand, the boy throws back his cloak with majestic flair. A shiny metallic ball, colored blue and gold, rests on his belt. He grabs it, and he winds up to throw it,
No,
shouts,
it's Bugcatcher Jim!
Plague Fang, come forth!
Yeah, Hunter, beat up that child.
Oh, you good?
This monitor, I'm playing sound off a different monitor, and this one has its volume low.
I was like, last time somebody said that to me, a vampire tried to kill me. This is potentially worse.
This is like Pokemon Blue / Red battle music.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Okay, apparently this is max volume, so that's just what we have, I guess.
My bug spray wore off before I got out of the bushes.
All right, so emerging from his ball is a giant rat.
It is Eradicate. Do I know what's going on? Like, is Hunter like, what the fuck? Or is he like have some idea because of the belt? Like he's heard about this before.
Yeah, so you haven't heard about this?
I stomp on his rat. I don't understand. I just stab it.
I can't remember if the shopkeeper that you asked in Raymouth about the balls, if he didn't he mention something about like the Capitals had more popularity with them?
Yes, he said they were more popular in the capital.
Okay. So you have that knowledge, and then you know that this guy has a ball as well that a creature just came out of. But that's the extent of it that you're aware of this.
Who's the girl? Like, just somebody with
Just
him?
like an 8-year-old girl sitting on the rock watching, and she's cheering him on. She says, "Yeah, go Enosh!"
I'm like, what does that mean? Hunter just asks him like, oh yeah, I have one of those belts. What is that? What am I supposed to? What is this?
He's like, "What are you, some kind of noob? Come on!"
I am a noob. You never played Duel Monsters before?
Yeah, no. Let me. Sorry, I have this.
And like as I say, like, yeah, I have one of those belts too. Watch, I throw the wolf out.
Yeah.
Like at the same time, like out of the ball, I throw it.
He says, "Yeah, there we go. This is a Poke Monsters match."
What are they? So what? They fight then?
She says, "Ha! Wow. Okay, I guess I'm gonna school you in more ways than one." And then he says, "Plague Fang, bite attack," and Plague Fang jumps after you. Did you threw your wolf out?
Yeah.
Right. So, what's your wolf's AC?
13.
Yeah. So Plague Fang, this giant rat runs up to your wolf and just like bites it on its hind. And
I would have thrown out like a Pidgeotto or something. Cause, you
If
know,
I had one, I could have had to fight my normal rat. But I haven't strengthened him enough yet. I gotta make him eat a whole bunch of other rats.
or no, because a rat would be.
My wolf just starts
So you'd wanna
mauling
probably
people in
throw
the
out-
general public instead of fighting the rat.
he does 4 damage to your wolf.
Okay. Wolf has 11 hit points. Let's see. So, Hunter just catching on. At least if they're supposed to fight, it's just like, bite it. Like, he doesn't really understand. He's like, get it, wolf.
Yeah, the wolf's just like,
Yeah, I imagine the wolf probably wants to fight back anyways.
yeah, probably.
Let's see, bite, +4 to hit. Am I just using that basic stuff from it?
yeah.
Okay. 12?
That hits.
Okay, and it's 2d4 plus 2. Says I don't think the knocked prone thing doesn't matter, right? For this, 5, 6, 7 damage.
Wow. You got just enough on the AC and just enough on the HP.
Woohoo!
So your wolf, I don't think you've given a name yet.
No, we just call him Wolf.
But your wolf, reaches back and the rat kind of tries to dodge, but your wolf catches it around the neck just in time, and then just kind of like shakes it around and throws it, 10 feet in the dirt. And Plague Fang kind of like struggles to get back up, but then it's like, and kind of like collapses unconscious. And you see the boy be like, "Oh no, Plague Fang!" And he tosses the ball and like it.
And
or he
somehow
just, like,
comes
opens
back.
it up. Yeah, he just cracks it open.
And the ball
drops
just
it back.
hits it in the head. It just bounces off. It's just like stunned.
And he kind of like takes the ball and says, "It's okay, you rest. Good job, though." And then he looks at you and pulls down the brim of his hood. He's like,
As long as he doesn't turn his hat around, I'm okay.
"You were just hustling me, weren't you? You really know your stuff." And then he like kind of smirks. He's like, "Ha, just what I'd expect from my nemesis. I'll get you next time." and then he
He
runs.
attacked you first. How's that hustling?
I think his name is Gary.
Yeah, probably is.
No,
Gary.
it's Aiden. Definitely Aiden.
Well, she shouted his name. She said,
Yeah.
go Enosh.
Enosh.
Oh, Anosh.
That's so funny.
But so he goes to run off. Are you just gonna let him?
Yeah,
He-
I'm like still kind of confused, but I'm like, good job, Wolf.
And the little girl like runs after him.
Now I do have to name him. His name is Welfin. That's his name. Like, I'm just happy the kid didn't pull another Pokemon out.
All right. So from there, some of the merchants that were around you guys, they kind of like laugh at the whole ordeal, and some of them like sarcastically give you a pat on the back, saying, "Good job, you really protected us."
Yeah, I do what I can.
But they say that they're ready to go.
Same. I'm gonna bring Wolf back into the ball, Welfin.
Okay. Sounds good. For the final leg into the capital, the caravan lines up in order of destination or splitting point. They know the drill and they fill in any gaps, that are needed, and then you guys just go in. Mogar also knows the way, so he's leading the caravan. But you follow a winding path through various districts of the capital. Warehouse first, then the industrial district, followed by the merchant district. Each time you drop off like 2 to 3 wagons from the caravan. And the last merchant, who is an artificer, he's dropped off in an upper middle class neighborhood where he thanks you, waves goodbye, and then heads to park his wagon in what looks like a secure looking barn on his property. In the distance, you can hear the sounding of the city bells ringing in the supper hour. It's probably like 3 to 4 o'clock. The invitations that you guys... so from this point you're free to go. Now you have an address like where you're supposed to go from those invites. It's an inn, not too far off from the capital.
An invite.
Is the party tonight, tomorrow?
It's tomorrow. Yeah. Tomorrow night. But so you guys, you don't have, it's just you now. All the caravans are dropped off. So do you just want to head for that inn then?
Yeah, we'll go check in. Beds in the room.
All right. So the invitations you receive specify a tavern near the capital where lodging has been provided for you for the next 3 days. Once there, each of you are given an individual room, which is itself quite fancy just to have an individual room.
Yeah.
And it also includes a private bath. So
Yes.
very ritzy place, yeah. On your bed, an additional invitation sits, this one containing a specific card for your entry, and also a detailed agenda of the evening, as well as instructions for attire. It specifies that as your attendance at the party is expected to run late into the evening, a room will also be provided within the castle itself for the evening.
Nice.
And I'll tell you this later, but the attire for you guys, you are supposed to come in your adventuring gear, so armored up and everything. Yeah, and then if you want to dance as part of the ball, then you're welcome to bring like a second change of clothes.
You can dance
that
if
can
you
be-
want to.
And that can be taken to your room so that you can go and change after the presentation. All right. So, so the ball happens in the evening and the next day. Yep. So you are now in the capital. The ball is going to occur tomorrow. Tomorrow evening. So you guys have essentially one evening and then most of the day to do what you want in the capital. So just a few things that you guys can use to put your characters for what you want to do. there's the castle. That's Mogar's family estate. That's like church,
I'll burn that down.
temple stuff. Here is the inn, and then shops.
Go see
And-
Nurse Joy.
And am I missing anything?
Is there like a sorcerer's guild
Yeah.
or whatever
No.
people I'm taking the bag to?
Yeah. Hunter's just gonna look for where he can get more Pokeballs.
So let's make this the Sorcerer's Guild, actually,
Okay.
because it's got weird stuff. And then this will be shops. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, this is the inn. So I'm putting all of you guys at the inn for now. All right. So evening. Who wants to do what?
Would the sorcerer's guild even be open in the evening?
No.
Okay, so
Guess I'm gonna go get drunk.
Do we get like dinner at the inn?
Yeah.
Or we eat?
Yeah.
Are the shops still open?
Some of the shops are.
I'm just gonna go there. I just want to look around and see if I can find any more of the Pokeball stuff.
Sure.
Pokemonsters. The monstrous.
So there are all sorts of shops around the capital. Are you kind of sticking in the? This is like the upper class district. So are you gonna stay in here?
Yeah, for now. I don't want to go too far from the inn yet.
Yeah. So you stop in some of the shops. The ones that are still open are like potion shops and some like grocers and whatnot. And you ask around for this belt, and you get like a lot of nods. Like, oh yeah, I've seen a lot of kids running around with those.
They're all 10. I don't know.
Yeah, and they don't age.
Yeah, it's really weird.
And they ask you like, oh, are you good luck getting one for your kid or whoever you're trying to find it for. But they say the best place to look is a particular store, Morgan's Magical Toys and Such is the name of the store. So it's like an upper class toy store. All the nobles shop there when they want to get presents for their kids, and they've been the ones that have had the biggest supply of these Monster sets.
Yeah, okay. I'll just thank him and say thank you for that. Where is that? I guess it's upper class. You said, right?
Yeah,
It's
and
here somewhere.
they give you directions, but when you get there, you find that it's closed.
Okay, well, I'll just head back to the inn or go look for my friends if they're out in the town.
All right,
Find them wherever they are.
Dutch, anything for you?
you mean
Not really. I don't have any gold to spend.
That's true.
I don't have.
I don't really either.
I'd happily spot you.
You've already spotted me quite a bit.
Hunter, you were on the prowl for a new outfit, right?
Ooh, I want to
The
go
fan-
shopping.
wasn't
with
there-
him.
I got
Fancy?
fancy clothes last time, but they were like, this wouldn't be appropriate for like the party.
Ball, yeah.
Yeah, so I needed to get that. So yeah, I did. I was gonna, because the guy told me he's a shop, right?
Yeah. So like he said, come
Yeah.
to my, my other shop.
So if that's around here, I'll stop in at the very least.
Yeah, and that one's open right now.
Okay, yeah, then I'll go in there.
And when you enter, in fact, you see the same guy. He left before the festival, so he sees you. He recognizes you. He says, "Oh, Hunter, you made it. I'm glad to see you here."
Yeah, thanks. I guess I guess it's specified on the invitation, but it didn't say like what clothes besides our adventuring stuff, right?
Right. Yeah. So
I don't
it's
know if
like
it really matters.
you're welcome to just wear your adventuring gear all night, but if you want to actually like participate in the ball, then you'll want different clothes.
Yeah, I'll just tell him, I just need, like we talked about before, I just need to get some clothes for the party ball.
Okay. So he asks you if you intend on dancing during it.
I don't know, but I guess.
You want the option to?
Yeah.
All right. He says, I know just the thing.
I'm sure we'll all die, considering they told me to wear my adventuring gear, but, or we'll be in some kind of hellish gladiatorial pit. But yeah, just in case.
So he says, don't worry, I'll take care of you. He measures you, he puts a few different options available for you, kind of like matches your pale skin color to some things. And, he's able to set you up, and he even gets you like a nice outfit, and he says like, complete set, 5 gold.
Yeah, that's a good price.
And you'll look really dashing here.
Yeah, I'll take that. Considering I paid more than 5 gold for the last one.
Yeah.
I guess, and then I'll just take it back to the inn.
All right. Boogly, anything for you tonight?
I don't think I need any clothes or anything. And the Sorcerer's Guild's closed.
We can all get in the same bath, even though we have our individual private ones.
We'll do big bath.
Yeah, big bath. Yeah, we don't feel comfortable alone anymore.
I'll probably just walk around the town, just kind of explore. I've never been here before, so I'll just just explore, go on a walk.
Do a survival check.
A what check?
Survival, it's one of your skills. It's based on wisdom.
It's to see if you survive or not.
12.
It's like finding stuff.
Survival, that's +8, so that's
Tracking.
20.
Oh, yeah. So, despite never being in a town bigger than Raymouth before, you are surprisingly very good at navigating your way. To you, each house is just like another tree, and when you kind of think about it that way, then you're able to know exactly where you are among all the streets, and you just retain a good memory. Point is, you don't get lost while walking the streets of the capital. And so you just have a nice time kind of exploring, and then when you're done, then you're able to get back to your inn, no problem.
Okay. I thought you were saying like, oh, I won't get mugged or something, or like.
Probably that too. You didn't walk down the wrong alley.
There's definitely that.
They find me all beaten up. God, there was like 6 kids. They all had those ball things.
It's just a bunch of rats like jumping you.
All I had was a rat-a-tat. I had stood no chance.
I gotta find the Poke Center or the lab where Professor Oak is.
All right, you heading back then?
Yeah.
And the Targian.
All right.
And the Targian bed.
Anything else for the night? Or are you guys all turning in?
I'm gonna take a bath and go to bed.
Okay.
I'm gonna take a nice bath. That sounds good. I'm gonna bring the axe.
That way I'm nice and clean.
Boom.
Because we probably are grinding. We've been traveling for days, so.
You show up in the dream state and like Lodogber's just got a bath towel. He's like, hey, I just built this. It's like a hot tub.
Yeah, it's like, nice.
Big hot spring, now.
Ooh, I'd spend so much time there. I'd never wake up.
Then you wake up and Lodogber is in the.
And you
tub
pee
with
yourself. You're like, it's so warm. He's like, you shouldn't feel that.
And then you wake up again and you are Lodogber in the axe. He's taking up your life.
Yeah, and then he's like, I hope you enjoy the fake spa, you nerd.
On that topic, is there anything like specific you wanted to talk to him about? This could be along your journey or whatever.
Not really.
Good.
It's
Alright.
just, I don't want to gain too much insight. I just kind of, like, anything he feels he wants to just kind of slide towards me,
All right.
I'll take.
All right.
Got his starship or whatever.
All right. So, yeah, I mean,
Starship.
this is like one of the best, night's sleep that you've had. Like this 5-star hotel, right?
Much nicer than the barracks, I imagine.
The food's good. The bath is obviously good, and the bath is actually like magical too, so like it heats up the water.
Oh, nice.
So you have like a nice hot bath just in your room.
Is there room service?
There is room service.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, there's like a little sigil, that you just kind of like wave over, and then like someone comes up to see what you need.
I want this so bad.
You guys have bags of blood?
Can you imagine how loud Boogly snores?
The walls are thick.
Oh, yeah.
Hello?
I wondered if you would visit tonight.
Hey.
Yeah. You're very late.
That was a long bath.
Yeah. Here you go. All right. So the morning wakes up. You guys are all very refreshed. So, all right. So I know what you want to do for your day, right, Hunter?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So
Hogar, I guess he can jump here really.
yeah, he's
so.
not here. I've got stuff for him, but
Yeah. I was
Oh,
like, I
he's
imagine he would want to do stuff, but
he's at least back. So we'll see. All right. So
Oh.
Hunter, you head to this toy store. It's open now. At the center of the store, a large display has been set up to advertise the latest and hottest hobby in the capital, poking monsters. A competitive arena game that can be played anywhere using creatures that trainers catch out in the wild and then
like actual like animal cruelty. It's so funny.
form healthy, productive relationships with. I wrote that in.
According to who?
According to
As my wolf like snapped a rat's neck. It's like, dude, that the kid.
oh,
It's so funny.
I know you so much.
Yeah, good wave.
Good job.
Good night.
Bye. Good night.
You like hanging out with the guys,
Yeah,
don't you?
you do.
I love the way she waves. She's just like,
Yeah.
you should teach her to wave like how's the queen wave? She's just like
Hello.
We have tried to teach her.
Me, the queen.
That's the best we got.
I'm dead.
I was gonna say I'm dead now.
Live from Balmoral. Killed my daughter.
An illusion of a young boy in bright colors and a fanciful hat pops up occasionally, along with a mistimed "Rock Talks, come forth!" Being shouted, which, after 2 silent seconds, then shows an impressive and colorful friendly rock supporting the boy.
Like a legendary, it's like ho.
Yeah, exactly.
Essentially, yeah.
It's like selling this false dream that you can
Yeah, then
catch.
you can go get one of those. All
Yeah.
the kids are dying because they're leaving the capital to go like catch these things.
It's secretly an initiative of the Goblin Army to like ruin the next
Do
generation.
they have like a bunch of them in cages and they sell packs of them? And you just hope to get really lucky. Get like a really strong one.
They should. I should have done that. No, but while a number of belts are still available in their separate boxes, there are no balls available anywhere on the display. A sign has been propped up on it saying, "More stock arriving daily."
Go find a cashier or somebody working there and ask them about the balls.
Yeah, so there's a merchant there who's ready to help you, and he says, "Oh, yeah, those things run out quick as I can get them. Normally, the shipments should be coming in sooner, but I don't know, supplies seem to be running low just with everything going on. You got a kid you're planning on giving this to or something?"
I've been doing it myself. 'Cause somebody gave me one of these, and I didn't really know what they were, but it's come in handy in my trade, surprisingly.
He kind of like laughs, like a good-natured laugh. He says, "Oh, I guess when they say suitable for all ages, they mean it, huh?"
Yeah, I say as I'm like eating crayons.
Attack this man.
I'm chewing on one of the Pokeballs. Does he
I
know
turn
where
into a
they're
tiger
made?
wolf.
Or who makes them?
It's like an artificer here in town. He says, "Tell you what, though, you look like someone who can put this to good use, and someone who knows how to make their way through life. I do have one currently available. It's supposed to be reserved for another client, but I'd be willing to deal with him and put it off for later if you want to give me 300 gold for it." Now, on the sign on the display, it's advertised for 250 gold.
I get it, yeah, I didn't have to deal with an irate customer. Who is it reserved for?
Just some noble up north.
If it was the kid, I would do it just to spite him. My new rival. No, I'm like, it's okay. That's a little rich for my blood right now. If I change my mind, I'll come back and let you know. I got a party to go to at the castle later. You know how it is. And I just leave.
He tries to play it cool, like, oh yeah, I know.
Yeah, the king really wanted me to show him my poking monsters, but I don't have enough Pokeballs, I guess. I'll tell him you said no. I'm just kidding. But no, I just leave.
Alright.
I thank him
Flash
first
your
time, though.
invitation. Just like use it to fan your face.
Catch on fire on a candle or something. Lose it.
Alright.
Summon my wolf in the shop.
Boogly, you want to go to the
Sorcerer's
Guild.
To get Sorcel.
I gotta find the artificer who makes those and make him my friend. Be like, man, we keep running into each other. It's crazy. I'm like buying him drinks and stuff until he's giving me Pokeballs for free.
Alright, Boogly. Lay it on me.
He doesn't know.
I walk in there and I don't know what's it look like in there. Is there a front desk or do I have to just yell out for someone?
Oh, yeah.
Sorceress.
I ring the bell. Hello.
There's kind of a commotion. Like, there is a front desk, and there's kind of like trinkets and stuff all over, and that's just kind of like in the front foyer area. But it's open, so you can see into the shop, and beyond that is a lot of activity. There's just like stuff on the shelves all over. It's kind of actually cluttered a little bit, but there's various sorcerers who are kind of like tinkering, or like fixing magical items, or just doing various.
Where are Ren
activities.
and Gil?
Gil's at the inn. And then Ren is actually at the library because it's a rare opportunity for her to get to study some books there.
Just putting him in her bag. Holding.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to him. And then someone comes up and says, "Yes, are you picking up or dropping off?"
Dropping off.
Picking up.
Well, hopefully both.
Hopefully you.
Okay, what can I do for you?
I kind of just give them the whole spiel, like, yeah, girls in here. I went looking for her. Nowhere to be found. Probably something with the astral realm or whatever it is.
Could be any realm. Could be probably legit linked to hell, and she's probably in eternal suffering and torment
Probably that.
until she becomes a twisted demon.
He's just like wide-eyed at you.
Known as the bad man.
And he's like, "I'm sorry, did you say there's a girl in there?"
Maybe.
That is correct.
Well, she was. Now she's dead. No, I'm just kidding.
I said yes, she is in
How
here.
long can
All
no,
the
there.
scents I searched for, all were concentrated in here. Even inside there, her scent is strong.
for you?
She's just.
For everyone.
Wait, who told me that there could be?
We grabbed me
different
another one.
realms?
It's fine.
Like inside of a bag of holding.
Oh, Ren had just like
Thanks, dude.
theorized that like the magic that goes into a bag of holding is like a pocket dimension. Like that's how it can store so much stuff. Which is
So you can
it's
stuff it.
related to planar magic.
Okay.
Because it's outside the physical realm. It's a pocket dimension, outside the physical realm.
I get
So
it.
she was just kind of like theorizing that like maybe there's a way to connect it, but like there have been no studies, like that has never been proven, or like no one even says like that happens.
Oh, okay.
So she was
And
purely
yet our
theorizing.
friend carries a wolf in one of those pocket dimensions just on his hip. No problem.
No. It's the like
You could
the-
fall through it into another.
yeah that you can
Oh.
plane travel using a bag of holding.
I
You could
It's
be
that.
some kind of planescape, some kind of planeswalker.
So yeah, I say that I'm like my friend who, granted she's not an expert, theorized yada yada yada. So
Let's see
I don't
how
know.
well yada 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 translates from Boogly. Let's
Wait.
do an intelligence check.
Ooh, I have high wisdom, but I have like no intelligence.
That's okay.
No, I know my base, my
Can I-
my modifiers is
Can I
0.
be there with him? Can I chose to go with you?
Do you have high intelligence?
No, but I'm gonna assist you.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going to.
He translates from Boogly.
Come on, you know this is gonna be a low rate.
Maybe you should have asked Ren to go with you. I'm just,
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking.
Well, he's a sorcerer and a warlock.
Yeah, I'm just gonna further expand on it and just be like, okay, listen, you know magic more than us.
Yep.
Even though I'm pretty high level warlock myself, I know magic.
They're like, did you say warlock?
Yeah, they're also a sorcerer.
Bad at both.
And just I wanna like explain it in more like magical terms.
yeah, right.
Knowing that I kind of have that base.
So each of you make an intelligence check.
Yeah, he has to translate from Boogly into English,
Yeah.
into common.
Oh, 18.
Don't worry, I speak Ebonics.
I speak Booglies.
I was sure I rolled a 1.
You actually
Intelligent.
You passed.
Dutch, we're good. I passed.
Still wanna
Thank
see
goodness, because I got a 5.
Oh.
You know me and the magics of.
That's so funny because it's like Boogly explained it and he actually did a good job explaining it, and then you like tried to add on and be like, don't listen to this
And
guy.
I threw out just a bunch of like big words that don't make any sense in
He's
context.
just bothering me there with the band.
Boogly's just
Oh,
like,
the nuclear element.
You could probably pick me up and just like turn me the
No,
other
it's
way.
too high level. Like,
The
you're
guy-
using terms from your ex that he knows that are, like, scientific.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
talking about, like, quantum
I'm
theory
talking
and, like,
about,
string
animatronics
theory.
and all this stuff, and they're just like,
This guy's like, what?
you know, when we were fighting this dragon the other day, this is exactly what.
Yeah. But yeah, so the guy kind of like nods and then he says, "Okay, now I get it." At first, he kind of like laughs. He's like, "At first, I thought you meant that the girl was in the bag of holding right now," and I was like, "There's only 10 minutes of air in those things."
and I'm like, oh, I know.
Yeah, I went in.
He's
I
like,
literally almost died just looking for her.
he's like, "So just to be sure, if I turn this inside out, nothing's gonna come out."
I sure as hell hope so.
Okay, all right. Let's take this over into one of our side rooms, just to be sure.
Ooh, side room.
And so he takes you guys over there, and
It's like kids watching, he dumps it out, and just, like, mangled corners falls out in front of him.
you turn it inside out. Just the stuff that you put back in there, her dress, her shoe.
Oh, that's right, I kept the dress.
Yeah. And he's kind of like, oh my. And then he casts some spells on the items, and nothing comes, like nothing magical, no traces. And he kind of says, like, I don't know what to tell you, like, there's no traces
Up, bro.
of anyone being here. It's an empty bag.
MPO, Sarah. Does nothing.
And so I ask, well, do you know of anyone who would know what to do, or is she just a goner?
If you're trying to find a person, and you're not sure that they're on this plane, then your best bet, is to find someone who can
Scruff.
cast the appropriate spells to locate people across planes.
A planeswalker?
Yeah.
That is,
Well, and
that's a thing.
you might need to go and hire either an explorers guild or a private investigator
I almost
who
went planeswalking.
specializes in planeswalking to go and find this woman.
I say, kind sir, can you point me to the Explorers Guild?
He can point you there.
I say, thank you.
Are you going there?
Yeah.
All right. So you meet with this person. Are you going to Dutch? All right. And you basically explain the whole thing to him as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do I need an intelligence roll that as well?
Yeah.
Or we're going to assume I just repeat the exact
Yeah.
same thing? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He says the same stupid stuff.
I think mine worked.
So he listens to your story. He says, "Well, it's strange, and it's certainly a new one, but it's not the strangest story I've ever heard. So yeah, I can take the job. I'll see. You don't really have a lot of clues for me to go off of. Sounds like maybe she either inadvertently or by somebody else's volition ended up on a random plane. So we're kind of starting up from a cold search.
747.
But
Bad for the towers.
you describe, he gives you paper. He says, you write down the description as best you can of her, ways that I might be able to identify her. And I'll send one of my people to start looking. We'll take the job for 1,000 gold. Wood.
Is this like a dilapidated,
No,
an
it's,
old school, like 1940s detective?
the,
It's got a trilby.
it's upper class, and he's using all the latest gear and inventions.
You don't want this guy.
I lean over to Dutch and I'm like, hey bro, I need you to spot me a bit.
That ain't gonna happen, my guy.
I'm already in debt.
Thousands of gold.
We might have to.
Yeah.
To me.
We don't have no.
We might have to ask
I
the
paid
king.
you back, and then I dumped all of our money into a blacksmith.
Look here, see.
So any money that you have is yours. Your money. I have no money.
I say I have 645 gold.
Dang.
So
And
that's
I-
pretty good.
and I
I'm
can
back
throw
when you got
in-
355 more.
As I am a very powerful druid. Is there anything I can do to make up that amount?
You want to come with and help out?
Would that be pertinent to the campaign we're doing right
You
now?
would know.
Nope.
You would need a new character.
Okay, I'm like,
This is
wow.
going to be weeks, if not months. At least that's what he assumes, since he
This
doesn't
detective will probably end up dead, so.
since he doesn't have any clues to really go off of. Then
Say you're not trying to find her that hard.
she's important, but not that important. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's really just a guilty conscience.
How hard can
How
you
about
work
I
for
just,
600 gold?
How about I tell this guy
Yeah.
the story about how she's this very sweet farm girl. I wooed her. She fell in love with me,
I
and
can see why.
1,200.
and then I dumped her, and she went
Oh.
she went berserk.
He's probably gonna charge you
Right,
more
right.
money by the end of that story, dude.
And, or no, then,
So
then,
you're
then
saying
I
that
tell
this is
him.
going to be dangerous because she's unhinged.
No, I'm gonna say don't let her suffer because I'm a two-timing. Yeah. I'm like, she's a nice girl. She doesn't deserve this. Let's not let her suffer because of me.
Yeah.
He
I
doesn't care.
I can give you 645 gold now and then make it up somehow.
You want to make a persuasion roll?
Oh, come on, I'm not gonna rely
Tosh
on
can go in the
this.
back room and Tosh comes out crying.
Can I help with that? No.
You've done enough.
I mean, do you have a wave?
Does he know any slightly less
I
good
just know that I have
detectives?
plus 10 persuasion.
You do?
Yes.
Or does he
Dude,
have
don't
a...
get
Persuade
mad at
him!
me.
Persuade
Don't get
him!
mad at me. Nope, not now.
Does he have a,
Okay, real quick. What's my
I don't have
Like
I don't
an
have
assistant
any
who's
investment in this, so
undervalued?
I don't care.
Yeah, I have 0
or like a
persuasion, but it
paralegal?
used to be -1, so. Ooh, I'm not very persuasive.
Yeah, I mean, he listens to you, just kind of like, you know, acknowledging. He says, "Yep, that's a sad story, all right. And true or false, I've heard a bunch like them. It's not the saddest I've heard. So I'm afraid no. In this kind of line of work, you need the cash up front to fund the expedition. So, but we'll be happy to take the case when you have sufficient funds. I'm sure someone like you can round them up quickly enough."
You dirty fucking poor.
I say, okay, and I take the bag and I just walk out.
All right. Dutch, was there anything that you wanted to do in town? You've been good enough to hang out with Boogly.
I'm sure I'll think of something later. But right now I'm happy to be here.
Okay.
My No, never mind. Nope. I'm just walking around testing out my new hat.
Oh. So
It works.
so you guys leave there and you're walking around testing out his new hat, whatever, and then you hear a voice behind you say, "What? My goodness, sir, that is a fine hat." It's Ren. You can recognize her voice.
Why, thank you.
So she pops up behind you guys and she says, "I was just coming back from the library. Do you two want to go grab lunch? Somewhere. I passed a couple good markets, or we could head back to the inn for lunch."
Yeah, do they have a Boston market here?
No,
Oh,
it's an Anatom
It's
market.
good mustard.
it's so good. I haven't had that in years. Yeah, let's go grab some lunch.
Boogly, you coming to lunch?
Yeah.
All right.
No, he's not coming.
You want a dato? Dato. All right. So you guys have lunch. She just kind of shares like what she's been learning from the library. She's very excited. You can tell that this is like her theme, right? So some of it's like history of the capital. Some of it's actually what she's been doing is trying to read up history of the world and of the kingdom, especially. So some things that she shares is like how Anatar was, I think I've shared this with you before. Anatar was like a break-off kingdom from Enclavia, where it was kind of like Enclavia was formed after after like kind of a catastrophic event in their history, like what's it, like a myth?
Creation myth?
Not a creation though, like catastrophe.
Okay.
After a catastrophe myth of like this, huge flood or whatever, then they like landed in the current Enclavia, formed their kingdom, whatever. But it was like mostly this group of I don't know. It's just kind of like a rigid society that valued like strength, and she kind of makes the connection to what you guys have seen so far. And then she says, but eventually there was kind of this group that wanted to go beyond that, like Lucentines kind of valued freedom a little bit more, and just kind of wanted their own like pioneer place, and so they traveled south into the land which would become Anatar, and they eventually kind of forged their own kingdom. And it just kind of like happened naturally. They went so far beyond Enclavia borders that they weren't really like under the kingdom, and then they kind of grew big enough such that when the two kingdoms finally came together, it's like, oh yeah, we have a mutual history, like, okay, we're just going to be cool with each other. So there was never like a civil war event that created the other kingdom. It just kind of was like explorers, and then it grew.
That's nice.
And Anatar is about 200 years old. So, a little bit of information for you. All right. Does that wrap up your day? Is there anything else you guys want to do?
I don't think so. I don't know, Dad.
This isn't
Did
like
I-
a big part of the day, but I want to know where Ren is from.
Ren is from Anatar.
Oh, okay. So this is her shtick.
Was she like a peasant or was she a noble?
She was middle class, and I think I have.
So her family can't give us money.
Middle class.
Sorry, I'm looking because I think I have her history here.
That is okay. I didn't know if we needed to know about her family.
No, she's kind of like she doesn't really visit. Okay, well, I thought I had it written down in this chapter, but I could just kind of fill you in. So, so what did you just wanted to know about, like her story?
Yeah.
Yeah. So she grew up in Anatar, middle class family. You know, went to school or whatever. She ended up on a ship. So her parents were sea merchants, and they would occasionally take routes across the Sea of Enta to the countries on the eastern side of the sea. It wasn't like always, but sometimes they did, and she would go with for those trips. On one particular trip, there was a big storm in it, and and she says that she thought she saw something out there in the storm, but like no one really either believed her because she was kind of like a kid or just kind of like, yeah, maybe, who knows, it's a storm, right? They were concerned with other things, but she was sure that she saw some kind of figure out there in the storm, and sure enough, later on she would realize that it was Enta that she had seen. So from that point, that kind of like spurred an interest in the ocean for her, and she like delved into books more and more and started studying that. And then eventually, like after she had, was in her 20s out on her own, as she was kind of like going to these different locations along the coast or islands in the sea, whatever, trying to find more information, she eventually had an encounter with Enta, and that's kind of when she formed like a pact with him and became a warlock. And from there, it's just kind of been like she's really just pursuing it for the sake of knowledge. It's just kind of like her theme, and then occasionally she finds it useful in different endeavors, but she's never really been fixed to one place up until the time that she like grabbed that, she made her little tower out there where you guys all met her, and just kind of like hung out there. It was kind of like a sabbatical, if you will. Take a few years and just kind of hermit up for a while to read, because she had quite the backlog, and she holds up her bag of holding of reading to do. So that was kind of her plan for.
She's 5 days full.
Yeah, that was kind of her plan for like the next 2 years. But you guys were nice enough to interrupt that, so that she could have some more interesting adventures. She asks about you and your life, your story. How much do you want to tell her?
She wasn't with us when we went to my hometown, right?
No,
I can't
she was,
That was
because
the place we dealt with the spiders, right?
Yeah.
because the tower was destroyed. You went to the Goblin Army camp, and then you went into the cave in
Yes.
Silver.
So I mean, just like, I would have told her that before, but it's
Right.
like, well, that's where I grew up. Got kind of tired of it. Wanted to strike out on my own. It was all kind of destiny bound there, and you were expected to be something like that they chose. And it was just a small place. I wanted more. I wanted more knowledge, kind of like you. Yeah, and it just took. I just had more ambition and greater desires than that little place
I get that.
offered.
Yeah, totally understand that feeling. So how long were you gone? Like, how old were you when you left?
I don't know. It's been so long.
You were in your 30s,
Okay, I was gonna say 20s or 30s.
because you're 60 something now.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'll even say that. It's like, I don't know, like 20 or 25, 30. Who knows? It's all so long ago.
She says, like, for an elf, I guess that's actually pretty young, isn't it?
Yeah,
So-
even for an elf.
Yeah, good for you.
I was basically 5 years old.
It's like,
You puke.
so do you have a, but you don't have a family or anything outside of Silver Moon?
Not really.
Just gonna keep out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bury
Okay.
that deep down.
And Boogly, I guess we We learned a little bit about your past recently. We don't need to dredge that up, I guess.
I mean, it's not as bad as it sounds.
She actually, and then she remembers what happened the last time she tried to talk to you, and she quickly diverts the conversation back to, or she says, "This food is really good, though, isn't it?"
I'm like, no, this is interesting. I actually killed my dad.
No, you'll love this. Murdered my father.
Well, it wasn't murder.
In love with my sister.
I think it's.
What? I'm like,
I
was like, wait, did I say that in my backstory?
His sister shows up again. You were married to me.
I'm like,
This is our baby, and it's like 11 toes.
I break up with her, give her the bag of holding. Now I've got to go looking for her too.
I jumped in the bag of holding and I killed myself.
The cops are investigating Boogly because 11 women have disappeared from his bag of holding.
Why does this keep happening?
He really has no idea. That would be the best. He's just trying to be just a good guy, and then he's actually a serial killer.
Finnick is like the cause of this, and he was just trying to like, offload this hot item.
Did we ever go through Finnick about the situation?
No, we didn't ask him.
No.
I mean, you didn't really have a chance to talk with him because
He put a note on Mogar, and then we put a note back in his pocket.
Yeah.
We should shake him down later.
Yeah, he'll be a. I was gonna ask. I went to the
Maybe a bit
Explorers
finicky.
Guild, right?
Yeah, you did.
Do I need to go to like some other private investigator, or is it's just a done deal? Okay, that's fine. I figure if I get enough gold, I'll go pay the dude. If not, we'll just go back, shake down Finnick, and if that's not,
Yeah, you
okay,
just get a worse
we'll just-
investigator.
Yeah, I want to take this time over lunch to just be kind of like, how invested in this are you?
in
Really?
getting Sarah back.
Yes.
I was gonna say like, I mean, if there's any way I can do it, I'll do it. But I don't.
Ren's like, Boogly, I don't think you're gonna find her.
If she's not dead, she certainly wishes she was.
And if she's not dead, we may want to leave it alone.
Just chalk it up as a hard life lesson learned and move on.
Yeah,
Hard
everybody
life
else
lesson
is
for
the
who?
victim.
Me?
And also chalk up
No,
your
everybody
kill count
involved
to
with
2.
you. It's a hard lesson for her family.
You know what you have to do now.
You're gonna have to fight the brother, yeah. So
I'll be like, what if you go back and tell her dad I couldn't save her because I really don't want
I'll
to.
tell him from about 150 feet away.
I'll go tell him we need 1,000 gold, and I'll give.
Let me just go inside my bag of holding for a moment. Sorry, too soon.
Yeah, let me in there, hurry.
I'll be like, go in, I'll zip it closed. But
She's like, that's what we're scared of.
I mean, you can tear it from the inside, I presume.
I think, well, considering everything inside is lost when the bag breaks, I don't think you can. I'm not sure, though.
Yeah, maybe you kind of, actually.
Maybe at the top.
Yeah.
Everything is lost.
I have.
It's...
That's why you do not want your bag of holding to get torn.
I thought it just.
Well,
all
no.
exposed.
So, yeah, if it's torn,
Oh, it does empty,
then it just
huh?
spills out there.
Right.
But if you do the
I just
bag
bag in the
inside,
bag,
then it
yeah.
scatters into the astral realm.
Okay.
I just had a brilliant idea.
Oh, dear.
No, this is good. I'll go back to her father, and I'm going to say, hey, look, we were unable to recover Sarah, but we were able to, like, take a glimpse into all the other planes, and we actually found where Sarah was, and she actually just got transported into a different dimension. Where, like,
Do you want to meet her?
and it's where, like, me and her actually ended up together, so she's actually really happy right now. Like, another version of you's there, and
What if she
everything.
comes back, though?
She's literally in paradise right now, and so...
Oh, it's heaven.
Ren,
Yeah. Oh, I just looked into
So,
heaven. She's dead.
listen, I know you're going to miss her, but she's very happy where she is right now.
Ren says, that's a good idea. Here, I have something that can help you with that. And she pulls out a shovel from her bag and says, this will help you keep digging that hole.
Yeah, that seems like a bad idea to lie to him.
That's true.
Yeah.
He didn't seem that like upset with you, anyways. He kind of understood. He was like, things suck.
Yeah, it doesn't have anything to do with you.
It's not your fault. My daughter's crazy. I probably could have told you that. So
She was dating that horse before she was dating you.
he was ready to sign his deed over to me after I've gone on one date with his daughter. So he's a bad boy. He
was really, really wanting to get rid of her.
yeah, I was like, he was just wanting to make sure she would take care of him.
That's true. So he'd probably be ecstatic to learn she's dead.
I mean,
Not that far.
You kissed her, and that's pretty close to like a marriage
Kissing a horse.
proposal, like back then. I mean,
True.
Is it? Is it? Oh, okay. Probably.
among like formalities of the day, then like yeah, you always have people that just like mess around or whatever. But
I
like,
proposed to a bunch of people.
yeah.
All those dudes.
I was like, I'm gonna
See, in my culture, like I literally,
talk to the king.
I kiss my guy friends,
Yeah, but with all that tongue.
And I did turn down that.
and that's kind of how I saw Sarah as one of my guy friends.
She was built like an ox.
No, okay, well, So, bottom line is, we'll stop searching, and when we go back to Raymouth, if I'm feeling up to it, I'll go tell her dad that his daughter has kicked that bucket
Well, she's
she
just
probably
missing.
found inside the bag of holding. and-
Okay. Or we should just like wild shape past their house for the rest of your life.
I don't have
Polymorph
enough
into
stuff.
her.
Mogar, are you there?
Mogar.
All right, then we're just gonna go ahead into the to the ball.
To the ball.
I am, but I can't really talk.
Oh, okay.
What?
Amanda's still not down, I guess.
Very soon. I'm putting Amanda to sleep. She should be asleep like in hopefully 10-15 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Just slip some Benadryl in her food,
Yes. That's what I do to myself.
Okay. I'm gonna go get me a drink. Anyone else want anything?
I'm good.
Okay. Thanks. Okay. So let's just. We'll move ahead to the ball, and then we'll cover Mogar's.
To the ball.
To the window, to the ball.
Till the king walks down those halls. And I'm sorry, Ren is a human, correct?
She is.
Have we asked how old she is before?
She
seems pretty young.
she's 31.
31.
Turn to me, Mike.
Hey, there's 31 there, boy.
That's huge.
I'm gonna go see the titty boss.
What box?
The titty boss.
Oh.
AKA the king. King titty boss.
The third.
I want to get a bigger table.
Famous titty bosses.
It's like maybe a foot wider or something. I think I told you.
That chair over there, what's that from? Like the fold down chair?
A theater chair, like a high school theater.
Oh.
They did like a renovation, and so some of my friends and I, we were in theater, and so we grabbed like chair pieces from the dumpster and then like built individual chairs like that.
Oh, okay.
It's super comfy, but I never use it, so it just needs to go in the trash.
Nope. Nope.
What?
I hate that mindset so much.
What, are you a hoarder?
I'm a hoarder. Because I get all the way to that point where it's just like, no, this doesn't make any sense to keep.
Yeah.
Then I go to do it and it's like, no.
I might use it one more
Hold on
time
to it.
later.
I may need it in 30 years.
Yeah.
After all, why shouldn't I keep it?
I mean, that thing came with us from Tennessee,
Yeah.
and then it's been there, like, since we moved into this house.
It's usually
unused.
moving that makes me get rid of stuff where I'm just
Yeah.
like, I'm not carrying. No, like,
Yeah.
I'm not moving any of this crap again.
And I thought, like, with D&D, like, oh, maybe we'll use it, you know, but none of you guys ever sit in it, so it's just
It's
like,
never
I don't even know what we're talking about.
well,
If you moved it in here, I'd sit in it.
it needs a back, like, it's not, the weight is towards the back, so if you even tried to, like, lean back at all, you would fall. So it, like, has to be against a wall.
That's funny.
Because normally it's screwed down into concrete.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, how's that work? And
So,
Interesting.
but yeah, you know, take a seat on your way out tonight.
Alright.
Enjoy it. Who knows how long it'll be sitting there before it reaches the Davis County dump.
dump sucks.
And then just one of the workers will commandeer it. It's just his seat.
Yeah, this is nice. They'll put it inside like their big tractor thing. That
Yep.
be a nice seat.
Be the throne.
Yeah. Okay. So you guys ready to go to the ball?
Try King if we want to, or if it's too late, that's fine too.
What?
We'll just wait. It's fine. I know that you want to see your family, and so like I've got things prepared for that, but it's nothing that needs to be done now. So it's
Okay,
okay.
cool.
All right. So you guys are all getting ready for the ball. You're getting dressed in your combat gear, yes?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Any adjustments to it that I need to know about?
Combat gear.
Combat gear is pretty simple. I just wear leather armor.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I've polished up the scales real nice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just the addition of that
The
nice
hat.
hat.
Yeah. Right. Okay. And
That's
then
kinda cool.
Mogar, of course, you in your armor. You look stunning as usual.
Oh, thank you.
Are you wearing your helmet to the ball and visor up or down?
I will not be wearing my helmet. I'll be keeping it like under my arm.
Okay. And then are you taking on human appearance for your face, or are you, your true changeling appearance?
I'll be my true changeling for the king.
Okay. For the king or for everyone?
Well, I would say for everyone, because I feel like that's how I walked around mostly when I was in the capital.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. So, as you prepare for the ball this evening, you take a look at your invitation and are reminded that you are instructed to arrive in combat dress, as pristine as possible, so as to evoke the appropriate amount of respect and adoration for your role in repelling and interfering with the ongoing goblin offensive. And it says that. Like, that's the script that's on the invitation. The invitation notes that you should arrive on time, as the king will be presenting you each with a reward near the end of the introductory formalities, before the ball itself begins. You arrive to the castle gates, where your formal invitations are inspected, and then you are escorted by a valet through the courtyard to the entry hall. Along the way, he provides a rundown of the proceedings for the night. Once in the entry hall, another valet offers to take any of your belongings to your dedicated room for the evening and asks if there is anything you need before entering the ballroom.
I
So,
don't think we need anything.
if there's anything that you guys brought with that you might want, for the tonight, like you for your dancing gear, like that, just assume that it's up in the room. In the
Yeah,
castle.
I'll have my full fancy dress
Okay,
taken up.
sounds good. And like Ren, she gives them her bag of holding and like her book, so And Ren has gotten, well, I guess she's in her normal adventuring attire too, but she's got a gown as well for the ball. And Gil has some fancy clothes, but right now he's in his scouting gear. Okay. A third valet, so you guys are ready to go to the ballroom? Alright. A third valet then takes you the final short stretch to the ballroom doors, where you take in the very definition of elegance. An ornate marble floor stretches out before you, and this is
Combination KFC.
what you see
Domino's,
before you of the grid is the marble
Pizza
floor.
Hut, Taco Bell.
Populated sparsely with groups of well-dressed people conversing kind of, here and there. Some of them have already taken note of your presence and generated new conversations. To either side of the room, tables run the entire length of the halls, separated at intervals with chairs and couches for people to rest between dances. Each table is overflowing with food like you have never seen before, fully capturing the theme of the recent harvest. At the very end of the room, a stage has been set up. I got that here. Sorry, I couldn't find a better stage, but
It works.
a stage has been set up where the orchestra is currently warming up. As you formally enter the ballroom, you are introduced as the heroes of Raymouth before each of your names is declared. Mogar Shepherd, Dutch Moonfire,
Boogly doesn't have a medal.
Erasmus Wolfrin, Brutus Alexandrus Maximus Faustinus, and Boogly of the Teperan Pass.
Carl.
I was like, thank goodness they didn't call me soft skin.
Oogly the murderer.
The patricide.
Patricidal mania.
Oogly the father killer, non-loving murderer pimp. I don't know. I'm fine.
Farm girl murdering.
Yeah, she killed herself.
Father killing, farm girl killing, balance loving.
I just walk in. You're missing a lot of context, but
Ren Teldarian, Gildan Maestro Mirrodin. Okay.
And Finnick.
oh, Nacho's okay.
Yeah.
Probably not easy.
Poor dude.
All right. So from here, you are free to go about where you please. So
Oh, we're not supposed to go to the front?
not right. This is before formalities have
Yeah.
begun, so you have some time to like mingle or get food or whatever you want.
We
So
recognize
we were
anyone?
basically announced by the
Yeah.
The person at the door.
porter.
The MC.
Hey,
Why
we got the
mingle?
heroes of Raymond. I'll be playing the hits all night long.
Gil says, "Well, you know where I'll be," and he heads off to
Wanna
get
say,
some
in church?
fine food.
Yeah, I want to go find food too.
All right. You want to go with Gil?
Yeah.
I'll probably try to. I'm guessing I know some people here.
Yeah.
I'll just kind of go say hi to whoever.
Yeah. You know some people.
Yeah.
Hunter.
Be like, hey, nice to see you.
Good to see you, hero of Raymond. Good to see you.
I'll
Hero
go
of
with.
Raymond.
I'll go get food too if I don't recognize anybody that I care about anyway.
Well, Ren's gonna go with everyone else. Boogly.
I'll just join everyone else.
All right. Mogar's the lone wolf. Gil's the leader of the pack.
I was like, not Gil, he's a bad influence.
I was gonna say if Boogly decided to come with me, I would physically tell him. Stay where he is. And like, hey Boogly, I'm actually gonna need you to guard this door, and then just continue mingling.
Because I'm a changeling that has a freaky face, but you're on another level.
Yeah, you're atrocious.
You father killing.
Boogly's like telling everybody he runs into like the whole story, like about the like, women and like the bag. You want to check?
Tasha's talking to a suit of armor that just looks like
It comes to like the king climbing down the ladder into the thing. And we're like, dude.
I want to have my imp invisibly fly just to the top of the room and just
Oh, my rat to
hang
ride
out
it.
there.
That's a spell to cast that?
I mean, it's find familiar is the spell, but then once
It's
you
always
cast
with
it, it's
you.
just
So
until it dies.
So what you discover when you go to cast the spell is that it immediately dissipates.
Okay.
So you were
Magic doesn't work here.
And Ren's kind of like, I could have told you that. Didn't you see the charms all along, and also all
The
those
sign?
guys on the side ready to cast counterspell?
And it says, "Don't cast magic."
As you walk in, magic free zone.
So
There's a magic
does,
shooting.
does that affect enchanted items?
No.
Okay, I'm like, did my bag of holding just neutralize everything?
Yeah, you walk in and everything explodes out of your bag.
It's like, okay, now she's really.
There's a whole bunch of women.
Mangled bodies on the floor.
There's like 12 dead hookers.
I can explain.
There's like one feral alive one.
It's Sarah.
Ooh.
She was already feral from the sound of it. But
You wish.
All right, so yeah, Gil's like, I'm not just a scout when it comes to finding the enemy. I also know how to scout the best food. And he like starts handing out food. Like, here, try some of this, try some of this. This is the best fig pudding that you'll get on this side of the Sea of Enta. Whatever. And
Have you
it
been
is-
here before? What do you know?
No,
all
but he
this
knows good
stuff?
food.
Okay.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, I'm
I trust his judgment. It's all good, but there's like way better food. He's like keeping it all for himself.
I don't have his age. But he's like, yeah, I'm like 250 years old. Of course I've been here before.
Okay.
So you are approached by a very elderly but fit man in good health, finely dressed and highly decorated. And he says, "Well met, my friends." And you guys presumably turn, and you don't recognize this guy. And Mogar's not with you, so.
Well met. And just cream puff all over his fancy dress.
He says,
Cream all over him.
I couldn't believe it when I heard your names being spread about the capital. I simply had to see you all again. After all, I had given up on the idea of ever seeing any of you again. And yet here you are, and by all appearances not a day older even. You all must have amazing genealogy, or you truly are angels from on high, as I surely thought you were all those years ago.
I look at that, so I'm like, what?
Do we recognize him?
Not at all.
I want to think when we met a child.
Either way.
Or is it that Spider Queen lady?
Now an old man.
Classic trick. The old Spider Queen turned into the old man trick again.
Well, I'm looking at it. I thought you were about to be like, oh, it actually is him.
You
I'm
won't,
like,
you
no.
won't fool me this time.
Millions of spiders explode out of his chest. It really was. I don't know.
So Boo looks at Dutch. Dutch looks at Ren.
Ren
I'm
looks
still gonna
at
greet him
Gil.
normally because he looks important either way. So
Gil looks at Hunter.
I'm just like, oh, well met. When did we?
Angels from on high we are. Good to see you. And I shake his hand.
When did we?
He eagerly shakes your hand.
When was the last time we met? It must have been quite a while.
He laughs. He's like, oh, well, I realize that I must look very different than I did back then. After all, 80 years really takes its toll on most humans, doesn't it? He taps on an insignia above his medals, which you see is emblazoned with the letter H. And you... Let's see if you recall this insignia. I think it's just intelligence.
History?
It's always intelligence.
It can be a history.
What about wisdom?
It's your recent history. It's really just like testing your memory here.
12.
Just regular intelligence check then, or?
Yeah.
15.
Well, I got a 3. I think I actually drool.
Dutch, you remember this insignia. It's the one, it's not the one, but it's very similar to what Gareth gave you guys on that night that you came back from Farwell Dungeon. And he gave it as like a proof that to go talk to Colonel Redford.
Yes.
You remember that? So he taps his insignia and he says, "General Lawrence Hemington, at your service." For whatever it's worth these days, haha. Of course, it was Captain Hemington back when you all appeared out of nowhere and saved my life.
What?
Is that from the first adventure then?
I don't think
No,
it's
the
happened
first adventure was the other characters. It's probably something hasn't happened yet.
He
Much
senses
like the genie.
he senses the silence that's kind of going, and he says, "Look, I must apologize to you all for taking the credit for your deeds that night. It was not my intention, but you disappeared so suddenly. I tried to explain to my men how I'd been rescued by a band of strange warriors who arrived and left on the wind, but they didn't really believe me. They said I must have been seeing things from loss of blood and praised me as the slayer of the Goblin Army's commander. At first I protested, but over the ensuing weeks, as I could not find any trace of you, I came to start believing it as well. And then, well, after 80 years had passed, when I started hearing your names and deeds being discussed in the capital, I honestly thought I was beginning to lose my mind." He laughed sharply before recomposing himself and then smiling. "But here you are, in the flesh. And it is so very good to see you all again, my friends.
Wait, is that the
My
dungeon?
saviors."
Is that the dungeon where was it Mulgar who did the death touch and the dude's head literally just exploded?
No, that was the Goblin Camp.
Oh, dude. I wonder if this is.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
just
okay.
be like, Hunter's just gonna play along.
Where's
Be
what
like,
was
yeah,
the Farwell dungeon?
I'm glad that we could
Farwell
help.
Dungeons
That's
were
what we
in-
do.
Yeah.
That was the first thing we did.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and that weird abomination creature had it in its chest.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
He wasn't the dude.
We went back
We
in
found,
time
right?
with that?
Who did we
No,
find?
Was he the
not
guy-
yet.
Was he the one that?
We don't remember doing it
What
because
was-
we haven't done
What's
it
the
yet.
dude we
But
found?
it's already happened in the
Yeah.
past.
It has to be something. It's just kind of like what Enta talked to us about, like how he
Like how Enta knew us already.
like he owes us a favor or something.
You owed him a
We
favor.
owe him a favor for something that he did in the past.
That
He
you guys
recognized
haven't
that it would be our future
Mm-hmm.
to go back into the past. So this is something that we're going to do in the future, but it's going to take us to try and travel out.
It's our future. It's his past.
Correct.
So in the future, we'll use the book to go back in the past and help this guy. But that's already happened for him. It hasn't happened for us yet.
And that's why the guys said,
It's like Bill and
"Hey,
Ted.
this happened. Like
Yes.
you guys just appeared and then disappeared randomly." So
But
it's,
it has happened. We've done it.
Well, yes,
No.
it's
for
not
him.
Farwell
Oh, yeah.
Dungeon. It's
Oh, yeah.
it's not.
but
that.
this is a different thing.
Different timeline.
Yeah, so this we'll go back to Farwell Dungeon
Yeah,
at some point
so-
in the future. We'll use the book to go back to
we
it.
don't technically know who this guy is.
Yeah.
I didn't say anything about Farwell Dungeon. Or, I mean, I said it. I used it as an example, but
Yes.
Oh.
General Hemington didn't say anything about Farwell Dungeon.
Right.
Okay, never mind. Either way, at some point in the future, we will use the book again to go back in the past, and that's when we'll save this guy's life.
Okay.
And I want to say to him that it's
Ludwig's
like,
mind is blown.
I
I'm
mean,
like, I've had a stressful day. I can't think straight.
No, time travel
and he
is
starts drinking.
like that.
I want to say that he, like, I don't blame you at all. We left as quickly as we came. We don't exactly even know how it happened. We were just glad and fortunate that we found you, were able to help.
Yeah, we're glad we were able to help you. That's the only thing that matters.
That's the only thing that matters. I don't care. Like, it looks like you're doing well for yourself. I'm glad that you could use that to your own advantage.
Yeah, we don't have any gold because he keeps taking it, but no, I'm just
Well,
kidding.
look at this awesome armor. I did not.
He kind of, like takes you by both arms, right, and kind of like pats you and like gives you kind of like, not a hug, but you know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about, right? Like
friendly.
grabbing, yeah. And he says, "Dutch, I owe you all so much. That moment sent my career and life on an unimaginable trajectory, and I refuse to not live up to the expectations placed on me afterwards. Because of you, generations of my family have been blessed. As such, ask of me whatever you desire, and if it is within my power, it shall be done."
7,000 gold.
Do you say that?
No.
Like a really low amount. That's so funny. I can do anything. I'm so powerful and rich. 300 gold.
I just want enough to pay off this stupid armor. It's stressing me out. No more, no less.
Is that how much you owe?
Yeah, something like that.
5,000.
5,000.
Oh yeah, you better get that paid off.
I know.
I mean, I don't
No,
know.
we will.
Make it 8,000 so you can also pay off my dude.
Let's make it 70 grand.
Let's just maybe he can help us in the future.
Yeah, I'm not gonna ask if anything of him.
I feel a little guilty asking him for stuff we haven't done yet
Correct.
that I don't remember doing. Like,
I feel good because I feel like we have a track record of helping people. It's understandable that we would do this.
can you ask a detective to look for this woman?
I just want to say that's great of you. That's real
Generous.
stand up of you. Very generous. We appreciate it. We may call that favor in sometime, but tonight is a night of revelry and celebration.
Right you are. And especially for me. I'm the guest of honor, aren't I? But he says,
No.
yeah, of course, no need to put any pressure on you guys. But you know I'm here. As long as I'm still kicking, that is. But
Oh, that's
you
a
can
flag.
always...
You're a dead man. Nice knowing you.
You
I'll
can
take my
always...
gold up front.
I mean, he's 100 years old. So you can always like send a letter to the capital, just make a request, and he'll try to do whatever he can. And he says that goes for each of you.
So I've got this bag.
So I've got this woman.
Yeah.
Oh, here, let me introduce you to my daughter, and it's Sarah.
Yeah.
Tom.
He turns to you, Hunter,
Headed.
and he says, Hunter, and he kind of like, leans in close for you. This is a little more of a private, he says it like all of you can hear, but this
Yeah.
is directly, he says, Hunter, when I first laid eyes on you, and he kind of like puts his hand on your shoulder, right? You looked as a man shaken to his core. I thought I was gazing at one of my greenhorns, his life on the line for the very first time. And yet you rose to the challenge of that monstrosity and overcame whatever had affected you so. That was the truest courage I had ever seen before, and it inspired me in my future battles. I want you to have this. Please, wear it proudly as a reminder of what you have done for this country and for me. And as he's saying this, he undoes the lapel insignia on his coat, and he fastens it on your collar, right about here.
Yeah, Hunter thanks him for that, and he's trying to think, like, he's not sure, obviously what happened then, but he is determined to at least live up to that. Especially if it's, we recognize it as the same kind of one Gareth was wearing. It's like, a symbol of that. But he's just going to thank him for it,
At this point, a valet walks up to the general and speaks in his ear, and then he says, please excuse me, find me all later if you desire, we can catch up further. For now, I am being summoned, and I believe there are other guests who desire to speak with you. Good day, my friends. And he walks off with it.
He just marked me for a sniper. He fastened that onto
Yeah.
me. Goblin sniper's going to take me out.
Yeah. All right. Gil's kind of like, well, that was interesting.
Yeah, well, I'm sure we'll have a chance to see young him in the
Yeah,
future.
we're definitely
Well,
gonna.
our future is past,
I'm making a note to save that
Yeah,
guy.
which is also our past, but technically the future as well.
I think I need a drink after that.
I can hard
Me
agree.
too. I can. Mike's
And you
hard
all
agree.
walk over here for a drink.
I swear.
And yeah, Ren's kind of like flipping through the book, like, okay, where's this gonna happen?
Yeah.
Put the insignia on the page next.
80 years.
But not during the
doesn't
party.
sound-
I want to enjoy the party.
Mogar, are you wandering to the group at some point?
But each visitor
No,
has something
can you hear me?
closer.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
we
I
can
wonder
hear you.
if
But that means we're the heroes of the last war, too.
No, I've had enough of our group. I'm mingling with as many people as I can.
All right, yeah, you find some other merchants that you recognize, but you maybe don't know by name, and you're schmoozing with them, and they kind of actually come to you because you're like now a more popular figure in the Shepherd family, right? And then your deeds are being recognized, so you're finding more of these other merchants are like kind of eager to make inroads with you. Okay, so.
Yeah, right on.
Mm. Next, well, as you guys are kind of like standing around drinking and talking, whatever.
Hunter's a Muslim. He doesn't drink.
I don't drink just because,
And he doesn't drink orc blood either.
you know.
A tall, refined elvish noblewoman approaches you, followed by 2 servants on each side of her.
The Imperial Guard.
More like this. The very atmosphere seems to change under her commanding presence. The hairs on your arms and neck standing on end. One of the servants speaks, saying, "May I introduce Queen Lavaralda of Everil? My queen, these are the infamous heroes of Raymouth."
Infamous.
And she says, she gives a slight, very slight bow because she is a queen. But
Yeah.
she says, "How nice to meet you all. I am so glad you were able to make it to this spectacular event." Even in her kind but general greeting, you cannot help but feel impressed by her equal mix of grace and power. Without quite being able to put your finger on it, it makes complete sense to you that a woman of this caliber could lead a nation and inspire great loyalty among her people. That's just kind of the sense that you get from her. And just as a reminder, Everel is the Elvish kingdom to the northwest across the mountain range.
Did we ever get any lesson on any type of etiquette or anything? Do we know what we should do? I'm assuming bow. I don't think we'd kneel because she's not technically our queen, but
Right, yeah, probably not unless you've just done that on your own accord.
I'll just bow
Yeah.
to her.
Yeah, and Ren does the same.
I guess I'm half elf, so maybe
Yeah, I'll do the same.
half my lineage is there. I don't know.
And she nods her approval and then, motions for you to raise back up. Hunter, you in particular feel the magnetic pull of her personality. It's as if you could follow her wholeheartedly into the depths of battle, no matter the danger present. Perhaps this is love at first sight, or maybe just the unseen bond of kindred souls. But there's something about her that you can't help but be drawn to. After a few seconds of silence, she speaks again. "Thank you for your outstanding service to our esteemed trading partner. Raymouth, and indeed all of Anatar, benefits from your efforts against the unfortunate goblin threat. Not to deter honors for the faithful soldiers of Anatar, of course, but your group certainly seems to have come up out of thin air and stolen the show, so to speak. How is that?"
Right place, right time. That was really all it came down to. Just trying to do what we could to help.
Yes, I suppose those are the qualities that generally make up heroes.
Yeah, I guess. I guess. Yeah, I guess we are considered heroes now. It's in Hunter's mind, they're not really. I think we're just us,
Yeah,
It's
right.
like it doesn't matter to us. It's just doing what we want to do. So, but yeah, he'll thank her for her kind words. I don't know. What does Gil think?
Gil just kind of, he says, "Your Majesty, I've heard so much about you. I've visited your country several times. It is a beautiful place, and it is my utmost honor to be in your presence." And this stands out for you guys as Gil. He's never this kind of serious or cordial or anything. All of his goofballness is gone, and he's just the epitome of. It's he knows exactly how to behave among royalty.
Can I have some of your hair?
Yeah, exactly.
And she says, "Ah, yes, Gil. I have only met members of your family on rare occasions, but it has always been a pleasure." And he says, "Oh, yes, thank you." And he kind of withdraws to the back of the group at that point.
What a good guy. I guess we never really learned about Gil's history, huh?
No.
who his family is. I'll have to ask him after this. I don't know. I mean, yeah, I don't know what. Do we have anything we need to ask her, or I don't think so.
This must be a really big event for you to make your way here.
A long journey, probably too. Yeah.
She says, "Well, yes, you are quite right. And though I am invited every year, this is the first time that I've made it in quite some time. But of course, how could I? Well, she gives a coy smile and she says, I shouldn't say this aloud, but usually these parties are a bit of a bore given the attendee list. But how could I refuse when fine heroes such as yourselves are here? I don't often get to see such vigorous, genuine heroes in my own realm. Plus, as General Hemington is the guest of honor, it felt the right time to make an appearance.
I want to give kind of another, like, small bow at that little honor. But that also just kind of makes Dutch think that it's like this is a lot bigger than what he first thought. And it's interesting that the Queen of the Elven Kingdom would show up here. Like, there's got to be some bigger...
Hunter's worried either something is going to happen, or maybe it's somebody we met in the past as well. We don't remember, so...
Yeah.
Or we don't know, anyways.
Fennec is the king. But yeah, Dutch doesn't feel like he's a proper or appropriate conversationalist for royalty, so he's kind of just like,
Yeah.
great.
Right.
Well, it's like, it's very nice to meet you.
And she knows, she knows how to deal with anybody, right? So, like, she can easily converse with other nobles and high society, and she also knows how to, like, react to people who are either star-studded or just, more common, whatever. And so just imagine, like, that she is graceful in everything that she does here. Actually, I thought Galadriel in The Lord of the Rings, not The Hobbit, that's kind of what you should imagine, right? Like, she like, conveys this quiet but very strong power, right? And then she also kind of knows how to be eloquent. And she just kind of says, please, do flatter me for a moment. Tell me, what has been the most exciting feature of your travels so far?
Ugly.
Do you want to take a look inside this bag? I'll just kind of perk up and just kind of, like, rub my armor just a little bit. Like, this armor was actually crafted from
Definitely the time traveling.
from a dragon.
A dragon?
I don't say it quite as retarded as that, but Tanner does. Dutch
Yeah,
doesn't.
I get it.
From a dragon.
I actually saw
Yeah, I don't come here to pretend to be as retarded as I am.
I saw a dragon.
She says,
And I killed it.
God.
she says, a dragon. That is quite amazing, but I can see, and she kind of like, may I? And she reaches to feel one of the scales, and she does like feel it, and she says, but I can tell that you are being genuine in this. That elevates your
She's seen
reputation.
dragons
Even
Where we went was kind of bordering her land.
before? I guess, yeah, if they know. Has she ever seen one? I ask respectfully.
yes. She says, I have not had the pleasure of seeing one in person, but where I am from, we called them Tarkun.
That is good to know.
But I am most surprised that such an adventure, for everything else that has been spread about you, that adventure has not been told.
You were pretty much the first to believe it.
Well, it's also real recent, so I haven't had time to probably spread it around, but that's the most recent one we had.
Myths remain.
And in my
myths.
mind, I also think that, obviously it had to do with the dying colonel, which nobody was supposed to know about, so.
She says, amazing. I would love to hear more of this in particular. And then in the background, you hear the music subside and give way to the trumpeting of horns. And she...
The goblins brought the fire! Have a PTSD attack?
She says, oh,
Stab the queen.
I do apologize. I'd love to hear more, but I must be going now. It was truly a pleasure to get to know each of you a little better. She and her retinue step away to the side as the horns cease and the ballroom caller shouts, presenting the Lord and Master of the Kingdom of Anatar, His Royal Majesty, King Absar.
Doug.
There is
Doug funny?
much clapping and crescendoing of
Animated.
music as the king steps up onto the stage and accepts the applause. He motions for quiet and begins speaking, magically enhanced, of course, so that all in the
Christian.
room may hear him as well. Mogar, are you going to stay with the people you're talking to, or are you going to join the group for this?
No, I'll join the group.
And yeah, everyone in attendance is watching now. And the room has filled up considerably now. This is the start of formalities, so lots of people are here now. But the best food is gone because you guys got to it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Alright, so the king begins. My faithful friends and guests.
The king's like, who ate all my fig pudding?
We're
You
putting
know
it
what,
in the
Mogar?
bag of holding.
You get a point for that. My faithful friends and guests, it is so good to see you here this evening among the recent difficulties of our kingdom. Despite them, I can tell by our overflowing tables and some of your stretched buttons, giving a point to a particular noble who pats his belly and laughs in return,
Proud feet.
that we have had another successful harvest throughout the land. For over 200 years, we have been blessed to call this place our own, and with great thanks to the bravery of our soldiers, our borders will remain secure, that our families may continue to enjoy the bounty of this earth. There's a round of cheering before he continues. My friends, fear not. We will get to the dancing. But first, there is some business to attend to. In light of the occasion, let us hear the report of the harvest, that our bookkeepers and experts in attendance may assuage their worries for the evening. Then I am most pleased to celebrate with you all the 100th birthday of one of our country's greatest legends, an exemplary fighter who my father had the privilege of fighting alongside with, the hero of the First Goblin War, General Lawrence Hemington. He looks back and motions to the general, who sits with others on stage. Oh, I have him. That's one. And he gives a gracious wave to the crowd. There's a cacophony of applause and shouts that fill the ballroom after this, and it takes a few tries for the king to settle it down again. You seem to have some fans in attendance, General. Following the presentation of his honors, we will have a short play commemorating the Battle of Far Sought Hill, which my grandchild is in, so you better clap even harder than you just did. And finally, we have a special treat in store, which I'm sure you all have heard about by now. The heroes of Raymouth, who have been busy making quite the name for themselves in our strategic fort town, are in attendance, and we look forward to rewarding them for their efforts in disrupting the goblin army behind enemy lines. And after that, dancing! And there's lots of cheers. Chancellor Eklos, your report, please. The king steps down from the stage following a series of applause, and the chancellor takes his place. The remainder of the program follows as prescribed. As he just went on. And then, so, he gives his report of the harvest. It's all pretty boring stuff, right? And then this little play gets put on, so it's just like a children's play, and it's essentially a reenactment of this battle.
His grandchild is my nemesis.
Yeah, so it's like the children are, like running up this hill, and then there's like goblin army people who are coming up, and there's a big battle, and then like the goblin army commander like starts, getting in it, and it's all very dramatic and also very bad because they're just kids.
This at least kind of gives us an idea of what might happen in the future.
Yeah. As the fight between General Hemington and the Goblin Army's general takes place, so it is like General Hemington, all the others kind of have like died or fallen off, and now it's just General Hemington and the Goblin Army commander, and they're just like fighting, and it's very epic. As this takes place, 2 servants approach your group, and they say, "Everyone, please come with us to the stage." And you are escorted to the side of the stage, around the side of the room, behind some curtains, where you're able to see the side of the stage and the rest of the play acted out. You're given instructions to follow when it's your turn to step up. So by and by the play ends, there's great applause, the children exit the opposite side of the stage, so over on this side. The MC goes up, praises the children for the fantastic reenactment, and then introduces you all with great fanfare as the next group that bards will write plays about. And he says, "Please welcome the heroes of Raymouth!"
I think they've been writing plays about us for hundreds of years. We didn't even know it.
Yeah. I was on that hill.
So I've just been poor all that time.
Once
turned myself
more,
into a vampire.
there's a round of applause, and one escort motions for you to follow him, stopping you at the far edge of the stage before exiting stage left. Your tail escort concludes with placing Dutch at the other end, and then I guess it doesn't matter.
Gil has a box.
I put that. And then departing down the back of the stage. The MC continues with a brief summary of some of your public deeds, and then announces that by the order of our gracious king, these heroes are to be rewarded with a sizable donation from his personal treasury in recognition of their many acts, with hopes that it will be put to good use in furthering their ability to put down the goblin menace once and for all. To this suggestion, there's a great rise in shouting and cheers as several servants come on stage carrying a small chest for each of you. So it's just like about yay big. And they just kind of like stand to the side and slightly in front of you. In unison, they all face the audience and raise the lids, revealing a heap of gold coins and several jewels. There's an audible gasp from the crowd before it once more erupts into cheers for yourselves, for the king, and also for the country. The servants close the lids and march off stage left, and a helper in the wing gives you the thumbs up motion before motioning for you to follow after them.
I was sure that there was going to be some sort of like whipped cream pie that would just fly out of those in the faces.
A rune of a glyph warning. Lightning bolts us.
Glyph of pie.
As you get down the stairs, you can hear King Absar speaking to the audience to wrap up the opening ceremonies and kick off the dancing. A minute later, the music begins, and the king steps down the same stairs you just did, looking to his assistant to discuss what's next. Just put you here. Put the king.
Did you hear that ice cream
Sorry.
truck? Okay, what do I
Mr.
do
King,
next?
what flavor?
All right, guys.
Tell
Tell me what you're thinking and feeling here.
I'm
Happy?
feeling like I'm gonna put a nice down payment on that.
Yeah, I'm very grateful.
So,
Yeah.
what's the total in those chests?
Boogly, don't be rude.
Well, we don't. We
Well, that's what I'm
really know.
thinking. I'm not. You're thinking the same thing.
I am.
I have it. I'll tell you in a second. We'll get there. I don't know where it is right now.
I'm happy to meet the king. I
I-
think this is the first time we met the king.
Yeah. Do you want to get his attention and introduce him?
Yes, I do.
So you kind of go up, and what do you do? Like, or just kind of stand there politely?
Yeah, just stand and wait and just. I'm gonna try and just bore my gaze into the person he's talking to the servant he's talking to be like,
Okay.
And now it's me.
Yeah, so the king kind of like checks a few things, mentions to him, and then the servant like nods.
We gave him how
motions
much?
with his head down to you, and the king turns to greet you, and he says, yes, good to meet you. You're Dutch, right? Good. I do hope you find the extra gold and renown useful in your endeavors.
Yeah, I'll bow pretty low and very supplicantly. And just be like, that's
Salacious.
like this is a huge honor to even be invited to the party. We appreciate it. We enjoy being in your presence here, in your beautiful castle. But it's a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you. Yes, we're glad that we could include you in the ceremonies. Always good to let the people see the young blood rising in talent. I was wondering, pray tell, what connection do you have to Queen Lavarelda?
This is the first we've met.
Really? Odd. It was she who specifically requested your attendance at tonight's ball. I wonder why.
Oh yes, no, we go way back.
Did you say that? Okay.
I'm like, dude, you're not gonna get away with that.
Well, I mean, we might, for all we know.
Yeah, there's a lot.
When
going on.
Boogly's telling you something's a bad idea, it's a bad
I
idea.
know.
Boogly's waiting behind you with his
I am
bags
the
to
Elon
show.
Musk of bad ideas.
Yeah, I won't express like any surprise at any of it, but just like, oh yeah, it's like this is the
Good
first
to
time,
know.
first time we've met. She must feel the same way that you do in wanting to see, you know, the upcoming blood.
Goblins.
You know?
He says, yes, I suppose so. Well, in either case, it was apparently what got her here this year. It's normally impossible to get her out of her kingdom, so I'm grateful for that. He looks to you, Boogly, and he says, you there, young man. Tell me, what is the general mood of the Goliaths in the past about all this?
Tell me, you killed your father, correct?
What's the mood of the Goliath in all this?
Yes. My men have told me that some of your kin have joined the goblin army, but that most of the village has remained out of the conflict.
In the Goliath.
I say,
Hidden part village.
I haven't been to my village in, what, a year?
9 months.
So
In 9 months.
Last sword was how that
And
went.
then we had no affiliation, any conflict.
That's
So
the part
I'm,
where
I'm
it
actually
goes
quite
work.
surprised to hear some have taken the side of the goblins.
I
It
see.
must all have started when I killed my dad.
I'm sure they got driven crazy when I committed patricide, but such is life.
Unfortunate. I was hoping to have an inside look into your peoples, but very
I
good.
mean, your
We're-
people.
We're glad to have you
Get the king
helping
canceled.
out the cause.
You can be Meghan Markle.
And then Mogar, he looks at you. He says, "You're the shepherd boy, right?"
I'm a
I
knight.
say, yes, sir. It is a pleasure seeing you again. He actually knighted me, like 3 years ago, I think.
Okay. Do you remind him of that?
No. I just say it's a pleasure seeing you again, like I've seen him before.
Yeah. He said,
He knows my family, but he probably doesn't know me as much, you know.
"Right. Yeah. Actually, I mean, he would recognize you because you're the only changeling in the capital, basically. So,
That's right. In fact, I turn into him. No, I'm just kidding. I don't. And that'd be treason.
yeah." And he says, it's wonderful to see how you've grown since your knighting ceremony.
Teresa, man.
I say, why, thank you, sir. Your honor.
Yeah,
and I
the
say,
servant kind of
"You know
steps
what?
in, sire.
In my sire.
Your Excellency.
I have something for you, and I reach for the knife as quick as I can.
Yeah, to not waste his time.
Yeah, right.
No, but I do give him the knife, like, you know, presenting it with both hands, and I explain to him that this is from a dragon. It's a dragon tooth and dragon. How am I saying dragon? Dragon, fang, and
The queen
and
can tell you all
and
about
it
it.
wasn't scales.
He says,
Sorry.
my, this is a most exquisite gift. I was not expecting something of this caliber.
This is worth more than the gold they gave you in the
Yeah,
chest.
it's practically the only one.
What blacksmith
He fell through the bag.
was capable of
Oh,
crafting?
and then I say the guy who made it looked like this.
Does he sign it? And does he have any mark on his work or anything?
I say this blacksmith, and I turn into him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's never met that blacksmith before.
Blacksmith in Raymond.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah, he says, well, unfortunately I've never had
Hold
the...
on, sorry.
Minus inspiration points. I might just wait till next time to do his whole family bit.
Again, you coming in again?
Hey, I can hear you.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Can-
No.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Okay, now I can. Sorry, the connection's been so bad.
Yeah.
Can you repeat that? So I gave him it. He said, "What does the guy look like?" And I turned into him.
Well, he asked who did it, and you turned into him, and he said that he doesn't recognize that blacksmith, but he asked you for a name, and you're able to. You met the guy. You spent like 3 days with him. You know his name.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, dude, it's on the tip of my tongue.
Yeah.
Dude, I forgot. Don't worry about it, though. He charged way too much.
But he totally did it.
I'm just kidding.
Very nice.
But the servant tells the king, like, this is a highly respected blacksmith of magical items in the town of Raymond. And the king kind of nods. He says, very good. We'll be sure to send him a letter expressing
Execute him immediately.
the quality of his work.
He's a threat to the kingdom.
I also asked him, I'm like, so, do you know what a dragon is? Your height?
Oh no. Dragon D's. No, forget. It's all killed.
Do you like dragons, Your Highness?
Titty boss.
He's like, does it look like this? And then he turns into an ancient platinum dragon. And go ahead and roll for initiative.
Sick. I don't say it condescendingly. I say, so
Yeah, I get it.
I had never, seen or heard of a dragon in my life. Do you know what they are?
He kind of just like remains silent to this, and he says, perhaps we can discuss that another time.
Oh.
And then he looks to his assistant and he says, we should probably be going, yes? And the servant kind of nods. He says, thank you once again, everyone, for all you do for Raymond and Colonel Redford. His reports constantly sing your praises, so I will continue to expect great things from each of you. Please enjoy the rest of the evening and engage with as many of our guests as you are able.
Thank you, Zara.
I whisper to Dutch, once the king's out of the way, and be like, dude, that guy didn't give a crap about us, man.
Yeah,
That guy didn't care to be my friend at all.
you're gonna get us kicked out of the party like the magic shop.
He starts spitting on his clothes as he walks away.
No, yeah, it's like he's probably just
I went
busy.
through all of that.
He definitely respected it. He's probably been given a lot of gifts. He just doesn't know.
He was either embarrassed
Yeah,
about
it is.
not knowing what a dragon is,
Yeah.
or knows something about a dragon but can't talk about it here, so he's like,
Yeah.
we'll talk about that later.
You should have gotten to the
What was
punchline
that?
quicker.
Do you like Wendy's?
Yes, he's walking away. Yeah, I just don't.
Anyway, Mogar's a little sad, to be honest.
I wanna pat Mogar's shoulder and just be like, don't be too upset. It's not our fault. You're smarter than the king.
You're like, dude, I told him it's the only one. Good thing I have two.
Good thing I have these two.
And the elves apparently know all about it.
Mogar, do you have inspiration right now?
Yeah,
I think you did last time.
I do.
All right. Well, you're capped right now.
I do.
All
Oh
right.
my gosh.
All right. So you're capped. FYI.
You're capping.
No cap.
All right. With that, the formalities have concluded, and you guys are free to do whatever you want.
So let's take what's it called inventory of what gold we are now.
Well, it's probably in our rooms, and I'm
It
gonna
is.
go change in my room. So.
Yeah, it is taken to your rooms.
Okay, well, yeah. I'm gonna go back to my room and start counting that.
Here comes the money.
Well, it's gonna be like, 50 pieces of gold.
I mean, you would just be told how much it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's 300 gold.
not bad.
Oh,
Very
very
nice.
I was hoping for something in the 4 figures, but I suppose that's.
That's enough for you to hire an investigator.
I know, but do I want to spend that money to hire the
Nope.
investigator?
I wouldn't.
It's enough to get
But Sarah's not my
you a magical
ex-girlfriend.
ball of Pokemonsters.
exact.
For me, it's like, does Tosh want to spend that money? No. Does Boogly? Probably.
That's good role playing right there.
Yeah, I'm like actually a kid. I'm like, I can't wait to go to the toy store.
Yeah.
All this money.
But then again, Boogly is kind of like an extension of Tosh. Kind of.
Aren't all characters?
I sure hope not.
Yeah. Right?
All right, so you guys go back to your rooms, get dressed. Yeah, Ren has this fancy flowing ballroom gown.
Such AIDS, man.
Gil has a fancy suit that he's all ready with.
He
You
has
guys
a
have
gown.
fancy clothes.
My rat's in a tuxedo.
It's the gown from Harry Potter, like that.
The one Neville
Ron
gets.
Weasley.
Or no, yeah, Ron. Yeah, from
Yeah,
his
Ron
mom.
has the old.
He's like, I got this when I turned 18.
Ah.
I look at my clothes that I never fully looked at after like commissioning them, and it's just a gown.
Oh.
Again. An negligee.
So,
90.
so the
And
that event started at 7 o'clock and went till about 8. So you guys go up to your rooms. It takes probably 10 minutes to get to your room. A valet escorts you up and then is willing to wait for you so that you know your way back.
So I can't pocket any of this stuff.
And there are of course like servants all throughout the halls, like ready to help out or
Yeah, I'm
direct.
taking candlesticks. I'm taking
Yeah.
whistles.
So it's probably like 8:30 when you guys would get back.
Mhm.
And I think I said you don't need to count your stuff. Like you were just informed.
Yeah.
Like, that's how much that's worth. And you're welcome to keep the gems, or if you want to exchange it just for like gold or platinum, then they can do that for you. You just need to ask them.
Makes sense.
Some spell components require diamonds, and so
Mhm.
there are like diamonds in there suitable for those. Sweet. So yeah, then so it's like 8:30. The ball's gonna go all night, and then there'll be like breakfast served around like between 5 and 7 a.m. And after breakfast is basically when people are kicked out, and that's the end of the ball. So
It doesn't have to be right when we go down. I'd prefer it wasn't. But maybe around like 10-ish. I want to try and find the queen again.
okay, we can look into that, and just I had to like look up all this information on balls and medieval like
Let me be.
medieval balls.
I really should have been specific with the first Google search.
And Ian, it was funny because like I felt like I was looking into like your mom's costume shows, right? Like Downton Abbey and stuff. Like, how did all this happen in medieval times? Anyway, each dance lasts about a half an hour. It's crazy.
Dance
Yeah.
till you drop.
Yeah, no kidding. And that's why like there's
That's
couches
all-
and chairs around so like you can rest.
Yeah,
in
you'd
between
have to.
sets. So yeah, it's like a half-hour dance
There wasn't
that's
AC
comprised
back
of
then
like
either.
2 sets. So like 15 minutes, and then like you change partners in another 15 minutes, and like that's one dance, and then after a 10-minute break, then you'd go to your next one, and that's where you had dance cards and all that stuff.
That makes sense, actually. Yeah.
So just so you guys know, as you're kind of like thinking, how am I doing through the night? If you commit to a dance, that's like half an hour that you're busy doing something.
Oh, I'm committed.
Gil's gonna get drunk, I'm sure.
We're not gonna do this like every dance. I just kind of want to know generally what you guys are doing what time ish that you retire to your chambers or whatever.
I'm gonna hang out with Dutch pretty much the whole time.
So are you guys like gonna go dance for a bit before looking?
I'm not gonna dance.
Okay,
I'm gonna set.
We're gonna keep eating.
Yeah, I'm gonna eat. I'm gonna sit back and kind of like observe who's there.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm mainly trying to keep my eyes on the queen.
Try and listen to hot gossip.
Yeah. Yeah. Where's the hot goss?
Okay.
Because I'm very curious after what the king said.
Yeah.
And so I want to know,
Same.
like, it's like she's obviously this well-respected queen that's very charismatic, but it's like, who's going to
Who currently has the
approach
book?
her? I
Ren.
think Ren.
Ren. Keep an eye on her too. Although it's probably in her room at this
So-
point. Oh, that's
She kept it on her.
okay.
Or wait, no, she didn't. You're right. it
Since
is
we're
in
on
the
the
room.
topic of balls and stuff,
Whoa.
Oh, no.
That's-
my brother-in-law Jason, he had surgery today.
Mm-hmm.
Because I guess there's a thing that actually can happen to anyone where like your units drain weird or transfer fluid weird, and it actually fills up the sac where it like doubles in size. And so you need to have surgery to have it drain.
So the pee is stored in
That
the
happened
balls.
to Dylan DeBoer.
I remember that. Oh yeah.
Seems like
I-
that would
I-
cause
I-
more problems just because it seems like you'd have something leaking from like your ureter or something. But I don't
Yeah. Young balls, I remember.
know. Oh no.
What is it filled with?
Pee or
I know,
just
like,
Probably
not pee,
just like
like
body
fluid
fluids.
in my
Yeah, I
balls.
think
yeah.
body fluids and a mix of the other stuff. But
or pee stored in the
I don't know,
balls.
I'll have to ask him next time I see him. But
I wonder if it's like in high school.
Could
I
be blood,
remember
too.
one of my teachers had like this giant bulge on his knee because like something. It was the same thing. Like it would just fill with fluid
That's bursitis. yeah.
between, and like
There's
he had to get
bursa
it
sacs
drained.
on your joints. That's what that is.
Okay.
So it's a different sac filling fluid.
Okay.
But a sack nonetheless.
Yes.
Anyway, that sounds awful.
And uncomfortable. Probably I would not freak out as bad as my balls would with that though.
So Dutch, I'll tell you this. From the moment you get back to whatever scanning, there is no trace of the queen.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can wander up and down this ballroom, you can wander the hallways, you can ask around. Basically, after she left from you guys, then like she hasn't been seen since. So like she left, yeah.
Oh, that's life.
That's life. And I feel very sad. I want to ask, I assume that I asked one of the servants around,
Yeah.
inquiring after her.
Yeah.
I also-
And eventually you would track down to somebody at the entrance who confirmed that she left.
Oh, so she left by the door.
Yeah.
I was going to listen. I was going to ask if there was a teleportation.
I thought you got
Oh,
Tasha's
okay.
bag.
goodbye.
Oh, that probably would have been handy though if they had a teleportation.
I figure with it being the capital
Yeah.
and the castle,
It takes a long time to set one up though.
Yeah, but I mean there would be resources.
Oh, but you can cast teleportation. So, yeah.
So, yes, there's a teleportation room with a few gateways set up, but they're not for public use.
Sure.
They're only used for official
yeah.
business with permission direct from the king himself.
Which I would imagine the queen could easily get such permission.
Yeah, though he's never heard of.
Although she might not have let him put a teleportation circle in her.
Yeah,
That's
the
definitely
only-
the case. This is the first time that she's visited the kingdom in a decade.
Yeah.
Okay.
And her visits. I mean, he's only been here 15 years, but he can say even that visit was very brief. She's a very busy woman or something, but she's never stayed long.
Mm.
Did she get close enough to did she get within arm's length of any
Within
of us?
smelling distance.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, 'cause I guess she never took your hand, or but Yeah, I mean, she was like 5 feet from you guys.
Okay.
And there can't be any magic in the room. So.
Yeah, and it would totally make sense that her and her posse would be able to teleport. That's not a problem. I just didn't know if there was like a castle access thing. Okay. Alrighty. Well, Dutch has a new side quest unlocked that he really wants to go and visit there. But he also feels that he may sometime sooner than he thinks. Via a book.
That would be my guess. But
Currently in
she's-
that woman's possession, and Ren's just like, okay.
She's doing the Wednesday dance.
She's doing the one for that really cringe video of the Australian chick, like the dance instructor. Have you not seen that? I'll be your dance instructor today. Yeah, it's like the
Natasha Bliss.
Yeah, I'll be a freestyle dance instructor, and I'm like, cool, and I kneel down in traffic. Like,
It's almost as good as that one like white lady that does the hip hop class.
yes. Or the
And
I
you can
want to
step
be
to the
ninja.
right. You can step.
well, if she's gone and we don't have that, I'm gonna go find Gil and eat by him. I'm assuming Dutch and I don't have any plans now.
Yeah. No more
Dude,
plans.
We're gonna scare off any dudes who approach Ren,
I'm
we're not allowed to
just
take
tearing
our
up the dance floor.
magic user, or
Are you dancing in your armor, Logar, or?
No, I would have taken that out.
Cinnamon's
and I would
dancing.
have taken a shower after.
He's on Cinnamon and Cinnamon's dancing.
Very good.
Like, put some
What are you
boots.
doing this whole time?
I was gonna head back to my room and just get back in the bath. A magical bath that stays warm. I'm just gonna do that.
Yeah, Boone's like,
Gosh,
have you
all
guys
your
seen
beds
the
stay warm. You
bathtubs?
just pee.
Like, you're leaving the castle?
No, oh no, yeah, we have rooms in the castle, but there is gonna be a huge bath, I'm sure.
Well, I thought that our rooms were in the castle.
No, so you've
That
got
was an
rooms
inn.
at the inn for 3 days, but for tonight, you also have a room in the castle. And since you guys have been there, it's like a communal room
Mm-hmm.
with, like, it's been set up with, nice beds, and it has, like, maybe 3 offshoot rooms, where you could have, like, and each of those has, like, a bed as well. So there's a couple private chambers, and then, like, just a larger chamber for more of your guys' beds, so that you can all fit in that one room. And all of your stuff was, like, lined up along the wall.
Oh, okay.
There probably is a bath up there somewhere.
And and there's one of the other like side rooms off of your room has like a bath.
Okay. Well, I'll go up and do that.
Okay, sounds good. Good. So you're
I'm a big, smelly Goliath.
yes.
I need a bath. I know I bathed earlier, but it felt really good.
All right. Well, let's say it's around midnight. Then you guys are all just hanging out, enjoying. You guys came over and joined here, whatever. After a fabulous night, members of your party, are starting to drift off. Namely, Gil and Banff here are kind of beginning to pass out from drinking so much, and you guys probably aren't too far behind if you've been hanging out with them for the last couple hours. Gil is the first to go, having drunken his fill, which is saying something. And then he's dozed off on one of the couches here without ever having stepped foot onto the dance floor. After several dances, Ren decides that she has mastered all the steps and run out of interesting conversance. So she grabs Gil and helps him to the room. She asks if anyone else wants to head to bed, quote unquote, early, since the ball's still going to go on for another 4 hours here.
Yeah, if I don't see anybody that we recognize that, probably don't need to talk to anybody that we haven't already, so I'll probably head back.
Okay. Dutch,
I'm gonna stay.
you're going to stay. On the dance floor or on the sidelines?
I'll start dancing.
I'm gonna leave my
I'm a-
rat,
I'm a
like,
few
with
drinks
Dutch
deep.
to come get me if something goes wrong,
Okay.
terribly wrong down here.
Alright.
And also to mess with
I
him.
put him underneath my hat.
Oh yeah, he's under
You
your
can make me
hat.
dance.
Are you sleeping now, Boogly?
He is like a master.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. I just went to bed.
Yeah. Let's have some fun. Let's do a performance check to see how well you dance. If you know the steps or whatever.
If I can dance like one of those freaking Silithids, I can
Come on,
do
bro.
this.
Yeah.
Boot scoot boogie.
No. I need to see what my modifier is. Oh, this is performance?
Dance. Dance modifier. It's like you are a warlock.
20.
You should have high charisma.
Wow. Good job.
I'm rolling my hat down my arm.
With the rat in it.
It's like,
He's breakdancing.
Yeah, the rat comes out and dances on your head.
So Dutch, you know, you've been around a while. You've learned lots of different things in your time, and this dance is one of them.
That's how you got your son.
So maybe it was. So you know all the steps to this, and you perform it perfectly. To the admiration, you know, of your partner, and as well as some of the people around you who all know how good you're doing, and then when it ends, they applaud your work, and you know the lady.
Your pants are ripping.
She's a single lady, as most ballroom dancers are, and she's definitely interested in doing another dance with you.
so
Learn from my mistakes.
I'm not.
He already has a mistake.
Yeah, well, I've gone through plenty, buddy. And I'm gonna make another.
This time it's the tango.
Okay, so let's do another. Well,
It's the cha-cha slide.
we're gonna wait for that.
Texas square dancing.
You know all the moves to this, and it's just square dancing. Irish river dance.
So, for the rest of you, Mogar, are you still on the dance floor?
Oh, I never left, buddy.
Well, we need to do a performance check for you as well.
Yes.
Mogar was your dance.
I think you do two of them
Mogar's
because
a
we've
single
been
lady.
on.
I don't want to make
You've been
any
on the floor
mistakes
longer.
I've been hurt too many times.
Let me just pull up here.
Show me Mogar. A real Mogar.
Back in perfection. You ready? Get my yellow spotted rat. Yellow spotted rats don't like my onion juice.
We're level. Were we level?
Yeah.
You're level 9. You're level 9, huh?
You're level 9, yeah.
I hate that.
I hate that the Gus from Sight.
No, I was just gonna say.
Okay.
This is literally what his dance partner looks like.
It's a goblin. They're all dressed up as like
Yeah,
women.
they're just two goblins in a dress.
The goblin two-step.
Literally.
Oh, 20. Not a natural 20, but 20 for the
Nice.
first one.
Good, yeah.
And for the second one, we got natty 20. I got 24.
We got some real dancers here.
Look, I'm teaching them how to dance. I'm like doing like the helicopter move on the ground with my butt cheeks in the air, you know?
The one I do
Yeah.
in the mirror?
If Boogly would have stayed and danced.
I call this the
Yeah,
check
thank
yourself.
goodness I went to bed.
So this is how it goes. You were on the dance floor first, right? And you did a great job. Kind of what I just was saying to Dutch. The same goes for you, and your partner asks for another dance, right? And it's great. And so this dance, you guys are both like dancing, right? You're part of the same dance. And Dutch, as I explained to you, everything goes great, right? You get a round of applause, and then as it subsides, you hear this greater applause from the other side, and you look and see Mogar is just like graciously bowing. He's just surrounded by like 30 people who are all just like amazing. That was the best performance of art that we had ever seen.
I pop lock and drop it.
Yeah, it was all, he did the robot so incredibly for 30 minutes.
And, like, I'm teaching them how to do the robot.
The
and
automaton.
their minds are blown.
And
The golem.
And they're just doing the freaking like alien dance that he learned.
Yeah, and so Mogar, you have basically people lining up to get on your dance card. Like
Hey.
they all want to get in on this.
They
Not to
wanna
mention that you're just
participate?
like a hot item. You're a shepherd. Like this is your place, and you are showing it.
Dog, I'm getting down. But I do quit while I'm ahead because, if you leave, sooner rather than later,
That's right.
I just want everybody to be in awe of me and be like, oh, dude, that guy just cut it up.
Well, then
Oh, he's so cool. And then I leave.
that's lucky for you. So here's how it goes. Meanwhile, the rest of you get back to the room, and almost immediately upon entering into the room, Ren stops you, and she's like, "Whoa, do you guys feel that?" And she says,
I think Mogar's dancing.
Yeah.
"Yeah,
I feel the presence
I hear
of dance.
Footloose happening."
Yeah, the guards are trying to stop the dance.
Oh.
And she says, "Oh, it's happening again." And she
Shits herself.
she goes to her bag and she pulls out the book and she says, "This thing's bursting with magical energy." And she was
Bursting at the seams.
remember how she was kind of helping Gil at this time,
Yeah.
at this point she just drops him on the floor and just
Yeah, he's not gonna be very useful
Yeah.
to us.
and that's when she gets the book.
I'm worried about reappearing in the castle a day later though.
Yeah, right. So and she flips it open and you can tell it's starting to activate. And she says, "I'm gonna go back and get the other two. You guys try and wake up Gil and see if you can get him sober.
Get Boogly out of the bath.
Yeah, and wake Boogly up. That's right. And then I guess get ready." So as this dance is wrapping up, you guys are lining up your next dance. Then you see Ren appear back on the dance floor, or the side of the room. She's flushed. She's clearly looking for you guys. She makes eye contact with each of you and waves you over. And you can see in her other hand she's holding the stranger's book. So she's kind of holding it like this and hurriedly rushing you over.
Dang it, I was feeling the music, man. I am the music man.
The music maestro.
You and Mogar look at each other like, okay, once we're wherever this book takes us, we're gonna finish this dance off.
I call it pants off, dance off, dude.
So do you go over to her?
I'm still dancing with the same person, right?
Well,
it's
so
the end of one.
it's the
Yeah.
the next dance has now started. You're in that 10-minute break period.
I'll just take her hand and give it a kiss and be like, "It was fantastic dancing with you." Yeah, tip my hat.
A rat jumps
I
out.
pull it out. Yeah, show her the rat.
Just so you know, her charisma score is 19
Oh, she's very attractive. And rich, probably.
and rich.
That's the most important part.
All right.
Okay. If that's the case, I need 5,000 gold. I'm gonna take the pink feather from my hat and be like, all right. I'm just gonna tuck it into her hair or something. I don't know.
This is straight
Goes
from,
right to right.
straight from the movies where she's just oh, she gives that giddy laugh and the ladies around her all kind of oh, whatever. So sure, power move, good job.
You're like, yeah, I would have danced with you chicks too, but I gotta go.
Gotta go save the world.
All right, you wander off. Mogar,
What's up?
Time travel.
do you use the opportunity to
Don't look me up.
cut your wins while you're
Snap
ahead?
goggles on yourself.
I kiss
Oh
her hand
yeah.
and cast
No,
Thunderbolt.
I leave them all swooning over me and I bounce.
Explodes.
Yeah, and you just exit to applause. People, they open up a path for you, and they're just applauding the whole time as you walk.
Yeah, I bow, I give the peace sign, I kiss them. I'm kissing all the boys, all the girls. It doesn't matter.
You just formed 20 marriage proposals.
Yeah, Bogey's like, what the hell?
Quickly get the bag.
So
Flipping
she
everybody off. I take the champagne and I oh, never mind.
when you guys get over to her, she says, it's activated. I don't know when, and I can't fathom why, but the words are already halfway legible, so we don't have much time left. The rest of everyone else is up in the room. I suggest we join them, gather up, and prepare for a trip.
It's like the magic treehouse.
You follow Ren's lead to your communal chambers where all your things were brought. Any gear that wasn't on your person is here, so you know where it's there.
Get dressed quick.
Yep. The room is lit by a steady burning fire, several candles, Not far from the door, Gil has been kind of like propped up by the fireplace by these guys.
Weekend at Bernie's.
He's kind of like waking up. He's kind of like slouched over, a single ember from the fire has popped out and is like burning his way through his beard.
He's like smoldering in his beard. We're like smacking his face, trying to get him to keep waking up.
Ren walks over and tries to like stir him awake also. Ultimately, it's not an easy task, but you guys are successful.
Mogar, we're gonna need greater restoration.
We've been
quick.
giving him this water. It's like solid vodka out of his container.
And then Ren says, the writing is very nearly complete. Everyone ready to go?
What does it say?
I'm putting on my boots and like trying to put my armor on. Like, no.
Just naked Boogly from the bath. Just like teleported it.
Yeah, and Mogar, you need to hurry because it takes like 10 minutes to put your armor on. But she pops open the book one more time and she says, it's done.
To do that.
Who wants to be do the honors?
I'm wearing like a nightgown and a nightcap.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, it's like a Christmas Carol.
Okay, it says, what is broken by the weave is also best mended by the weave. The ancient entity known as Enta had arrived and was restoring a measure of life to the land through his own magic. A small oasis now existed in the barren region, and descendants of the Enclave had returned to settle and make it their home. The Silithids, however, immortal and unforgetting, yet remained below the surface. True to their purpose, when the humans returned, the Silithids' unchecked fury did as well. So began the Enclave War. Ooh.
As the room begins to fade away in the light, you hear Gil wake up from his stupor and say, so another fight then, eh?
Probably.
Prepare for war, buddy.
I look at Gil and I go, boom time.
And then we port.
All right.
It's a portkey.
One more little section here and we'll wrap
My
it up.
boy! My balls!
My bursa! Look what they've done to my balls!
I sure hope this is a normal trip. With the frizz? No way. Time travel in the middle of a war.
With the Ren? No way.
Yeah, with the Ren? No way.
Arlo.
We still have their egg, too.
You do still have their egg. Who you're carrying that, right?
I think so.
Yeah, I think you are.
Sure.
It's in your pouch. You find yourself on a familiar patch of ground overlooking the valley to the east. It is still as barren as you left it, as though nature refuses to exist here. However, there is life of another sort present. Though they appear as ants from here, down in the valley floor you can make out large numbers of Silithids moving about on the surface. Further southeast you can make out signs of a human encampment, namely smoke drifting on the air and shapes that resemble structures. What's more, the horizon gleams as if the morning sun were reflecting off a small body of water. How far did we travel this time? Ren wonders aloud. Are we taking bets? Gil asks. And then Ren says, we should split up.
Ren, you've obviously never played D&D before.
What does she want to split up? Some go to the Silithids, some go to the humans?
Yeah, exactly. We've got no time to lose. The last time we were here, we were gone for nearly a day, And you tell me how that's going to look back at the castle when they come knocking in the
that's
morning.
kind of what I thought.
So my thought is we need to cover more ground to figure out what's going on and why we're here.
Can she contact Enta?
She can say, I can try, but at this point we wouldn't have formed our pact, so...
True. But he knew you, right? From before?
Yeah? I guess? I think?
And
Yeah.
he said we did him a favor in the past. That's the only reason I asked, because
Yeah,
that's
right.
probably tied to whatever we need to do here.
You're right. Okay, I'm gonna go find Enta, then.
Okay.
Hunter, the queen likes you. You should take a group to the Silithid colony.
Okay.
I want to go to the Silithid colony.
Oh yeah, he's a good dancer. He knows him.
Oh,
I hope our boy's still alive. If not, I'm gonna be very tilted.
Yeah.
okay.
Well, I was gonna suggest I go to this Silithid just because I feel like
Let's
a
all go.
Goliath won't have as much pull with the humans as a Ray.
Oh,
You know.
No, you definitely would, because you're big and strong. That's all they care about.
Well, I thought they'd look at me and be like, "Monster, get him!"
They might. We don't know actually.
Yeah.
I'll
She's-
go with the humans. I'll risk it.
Okay, she says I should definitely take Brutus with me. And I see no problem with you going either way, really.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, just go with us. It's easier.
And
And then I don't have to worry about not having any of your spells by us. Because I'd like to be able to be healed if we get stabbed.
Oh yeah,
Well-
they don't like magic either.
Mogar, where do you want to go?
Sorry, again, it's kind of cutting out, so I realized that we left, like, we teleported and now we're with Silithid again. Is the group splitting up? It sounds like everybody's going together.
Yeah, so part of the group is going to go to the Silithids, and part of the group is going to go to the Enclave.
Who's going to the Enclave and who's going to the Silithid?
Alright, let's divvy this up here. Alright, so we've got Dutch, Hunter going to the Silithids. We've got Ren and Brutus going to the Enclave. And then we have the remaining three. And you guys, you guys can go either way.
Remaining three mean Boogly, me, and Gil.
Yeah.
He disappeared back to our time.
Bless me. I'll probably go with Dutch.
That's what I heard.
Mm.
And Hunter to the Silithid.
Booley, what about you? You can go either way.
I was just gonna go with Brandon
Can you hear me?
or with, yeah, because I see that. Yeah.
Alright, who wants to go?
Is he still drunk?
No,
Is he still a bad influence?
the effects
Oh, yeah.
of the
Long
book
rest.
gave him
Yeah,
all the
it's-
rest, so yeah, he's unfortunately sober, he says. Or maybe when he gets back, you can have some more. Maybe it's a good thing. He says, look, I'll go wherever you want, but maybe I'll go with you guys. I'll fit in the tunnels nicely.
Oh, sure. Okay, yeah, I'm fine with that.
All right. Then, all right. So once you guys have, so she's gonna take Brutus to the this oasis and see what brought the Enclavians back, and then once you guys have kind of divvied up, then she says, I'd give us 3 hours tops. After that, we need to meet back up and hope that the book will let us out of here. I have no desire to live through a repeat of the last encounter we had here.
Well, hopefully that is the case. Sounds good. 3 hours. Let's roll.
You guys know where we're going to meet up?
Back here on the cliff?
Unfortunately, no. That would take too long to get here,
True.
I expect. So,
In the middle of the battle lines, I guess?
the shortest distance between 2
Yeah.
points is formed by what class?
A line.
Very good. So, yep, we'll meet in the middle. Before splitting up, Ren takes out a spool of ribbon, and she cuts 2 pieces off. Each piece has 3 major segments on it, with several dashes of various sizes on it. Think of like a measuring tape.
Mm-hmm.
And then she says, in regards to the biggest to smallest, 1 hour, 15 minutes, 5 minutes. Got it?
Okay.
She grabs the bottom of both, of both strands, as if putting out a candle, and then you can, she just kind of does this to it, and you can see a magical line that activates along the center. She ties one to her own wrist, and then she ties the other one around yours, Hunter. And we will stop there.
Well, I'm sure this will end well.
It always does.
Just like last time.
Yeah.
Where when we weren't paying attention, the friggin' barbarians firebombed the entire colony.
Mm-hmm.